fudge. Happy New Year!
Yeah, way to start the new year. Like
I'm sorry. I was busy reading all this. Happy New Year. I was just reading through some of your names. I'm sorry. Yeah, I got it going. Hey, you know what? If that's the first thing I do out of the new year and it's wrong, I'm good. Everything's going to be great after
Don't
that.
push the button, Brock. She has one job.
It's mine, and it truly is my one job. And I was distracted trying to figure out stuff today. How are you?
Sounds
nice to see you. Well, it does not appear that we are in the big box. So anything we get today is completely organic. And this is going to be you guys are what we call the P1 listeners, the hardcore army folks. And I'm so grateful that you're here. Hi. Hey, John. What's going on, JR100? Hello. Hi, Jack and Tucker. What's going on, Tiedman? Hi, Kurt. Look at everybody. How are you doing? I was in bed and I woke up before my kids got home, by the way. What are you doing? Why do you have that look on your face?
Because I don't have what you need.
Oh.
So now I need to find it.
Oh, for the wellness company. Okay. Well, we can do that in the first break if you want. That's fine. I have some powerful hair going on today. I thought I would just be wild for you. How's everybody? Who stayed up? Everybody stayed up? You guys? No, I didn't. I went to bed about 10. Woke up about, 1:45. Just one more day of this. And then, of course, as you know, we're switching from 9 to noon to 3 Eastern on Monday. And it's going to be a whole new world for us. So just a 3-hour change, but it's going to be a big one. And I'm delighted you're here.
See?
Let's see, 1,400. This is sort of like, this is the organic of Weekends with Wendy, right? Uh-oh. They must have just put us somewhere.
Just so you know, you can do it. I don't have a pre-roll. They've sent me nothing.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I want to tell you quickly, as you guys are joining in, the Wellness Company is one of these companies that I enjoy very much. I like the things that they do with the spike detox. I like they talk about things like nattokinase and curcumin and bromelain. And these are all things that are part of that cleanse, right? But what I want to talk about today is the teeth thing, because what they're realizing is fluoride isn't the secret sauce. It's actually peptides. And there's been studies about what fluoride is actually all about. And I think we should probably be a little bit concerned about fluoride. So the Wellness Company decided to make something that's got peptides. And what's great about this is it builds up your enamel, it whitens your teeth, and it helps fight back that when your gums kind of recede and you get sensitive in that spot. I have a couple of those. And you're like, right? And it helps with that. So it's called Smile. And it's perfect. Why would we not want to talk about Smile? So you whiten without peroxide, you soothe your gums with botanicals, and you strengthen the enamel with Smile. So go to twcthewellnesscompany.health, twc.health/Wendy, and you put in my name as a promo code, and you're going to get 10% off, right? You're going to get free shipping, and you're going to enjoy this new way to smile and brighten your smile. It's called Smile. It's easy enough, right? twc.health/Wendy. You know how I am about teeth. So let's see, 1,900 people, 2,000. We are going. Come on.
So I went back and looked at all the new people.
Yeah.
We're huge in the South.
Are we?
A lot of people from Arkansas, North Carolina, South Carolina, some in California.
Really?
A lot of people in the South.
Well,
Georgia was a lot.
I'm super excited by that. That is where my heart is. So kind of looking for venues at some point in the South to go as we get out of snow. We got, how many inches do you think we got? 3?
No.
I did at my house, at least.
You?
Oh, yeah. Well, probably.
I don't know.
Probably a couple inches here, 3 to 4 inches. And just when you're outside, you're like, oh, it's so pretty when you don't have to go anywhere. And then you're like, sucks. So.
And the only thing that really sucks is the city streets. They're just horrible at it.
Oh, wait a minute. That's your tax money.
Yeah, right? They're just horrible at it. And then they plow one road and you're just like one lane. And you're like, what's one lane going to do? But, plows can't get up because of the damn bike lanes.
Oh, you left Pittsburgh for South Carolina. Couldn't be happier. Wendy, the Southern Belle. Right? Hey, Fresno, what's going on? It's great to have you.
Yeah, I maybe got 2 inches, maybe.
Hey, from the Texas Panhandle, Archie Murdoch, welcome. Hi, Spar. Good to be with you, babe. Look at all of you. I'm so delighted you're here. Hi, Glow. Glow, you better find me a good news.
Wow. Bad jokes tomorrow, too.
You're my girl. That's right. Good news and bad jokes, WBRBrock@gmail.com.
Here we go.
Let's go, Rumble.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to your daily dose of facts to fight off the liberal gaslighting.
You can be in the middle of a hurricane.
You have sanctuary in the city of Chicago.
Or you can be on a calm day. North is still north. You could be in a thunderstorm.
I am angry. We are not going back. Not ever.
North is still north. People can yell at you.
The hell with the Supreme Court. We will defy them.
North is still north. It doesn't change fundamental things. And in this business, right is still right, even if you stand by yourself.
We don't get fooled again. No.
Live across the fruited plain and from sea to shining sea, we are converting the Marxist left 1 hour at a time on the Wendy Bell radio program.
Well, hello, America. Greetings to all of you across the beautiful fruited plain. Happy New Year and welcome to the Wendy Bell radio program. You know, I hope that we're the only radio show in America that is working on this Thursday, that is out there working on this new year, on the first day of 2026, because I hope more of you start tuning into what we do on this program. And it's called Common Sense Conservative Values, and we tell the truth, okay? So that is the basic storyline. Wendy Bell Radio is where you go to find us. We live stream the whole daggone thing. So talk about new media. We've been doing it for about 5 years, and we're so excited that you're part of our family. So if you got a couple hours or maybe just 10 minutes, sit back, maybe grab a cup of coffee, join us at the kitchen table, and make sure you come back again and again. Welcome home. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. You know, taxes are one of those things that we don't often talk about. It's not sexy. It doesn't get people's gears grinding that much. We kind of all just accept it and say, you know, it's part of the system. It's the way it goes, until something happens and some guy knocks on some doors and awakens some people to the reality that the money that we are all sacrificing, working hard to give back to this government is being stolen. It's being squandered. It's being sent to other countries. It's going to different things. It's not going to our roads. It's not going to our bridges. It sure as hell isn't going to our kids in the form of education. And now you've got this universal cry of what the hell is going on? One guy, Nick Shirley, manages to plow through every class decision or distinction, right? Every racial barrier, everything about us that separates us, because at the end of the day, we are but one color, and that is green when it comes to money. How is it possible that one YouTuber, one young man, can awaken an entire country? Well, it happened, ladies and gentlemen. This is exciting time. A very exciting time to talk about how much your privilege is going out to your government to leave you hanging out in the cold. All right, so let's think about this. As we discover the Somalians ripping us off for billions and billions of dollars, what percentage of the population do you think pays what percentage of federal income tax? Well, I did some digging. White taxpayers, about 59%, pay between 70 and 75% of the federal income tax. So more than half of all white people out there working right now, we pay It's about 70 to 75% of the taxes. If you're Hispanic, you represent 19% of the taxes being paid, or the people paying them, and you pay about 10 to 12%. Blacks pay about 6 to 8%, Asians about 8 to 10%, others a couple percent. I'm wondering where my white privilege is coming in. Anybody out there looking for it? Looking for the benefit of being you, the benefit of getting up every day and going to a job, the benefit of not showing up late, of doing what needs to be done, of thinking outside of the box, of providing for your family, only for, at the end of the day, for you to give up probably between 40 and 60% in taxes. For what, I ask you? What are we paying for? Are you guys paying for wonderful infrastructure? How are your roads and bridges? Because I could tell you in my neck of the woods, in the land before time in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, we had a bridge collapse in my neighborhood just a few years ago. Poof, down it went. Cars, buses, trucks on it, everything. Bye-bye. I can tell you that the carcass, the deer carcass that decayed and crumbled to dust, took 16 months here on the overpass on my way home to work from work every day. Nobody came to pick it up. All of the garbage on the side of the highway, all of the roadkill that we get to watch like a disgusting science experiment as it all kind of decays there for you. My taxpayer dollars isn't going to, of course, clean that stuff up. What else do you pay? Well, you pay state tax, you pay local tax, you pay excise taxes, you spend federal income tax, Social Security and Medicare tax, property taxes, of course, the hidden taxes embedded throughout the supply chain that we all pay, sales taxes, payroll taxes, excise taxes, regulatory taxes, tariffs, import duties, and of course, the hidden tax called inflation, right? How about somebody making $70,000 a year, full-time worker in this country? What percentage of their money earned do you believe goes to taxes? You ready for this? Between 40 and 60%. What the hell are we getting? What do we get? Do we get responsive government? Do we have government that listens to us and acts on our behalf? Or do we get government that decides to do what it does? Insider trade, enrich itself. There was a reason, ladies and gentlemen, back in March. 26 Senate Republicans voted down Rand Paul's bill to codify the Doge cuts into law. It would have stopped all of the funding to PBS and NPR and all of that garbage. It also would have stopped money going to USAID. Why did 26 Republican senators kibosh that? Got to ask yourself things that make you go, If our taxes were actually working, we'd have the best education system in the country, would we not? We would have children who were at the top of the game, not those who were completely functionally illiterate, in a system that allows them to continue failing upwards because it's easier than hitting the brakes and saying, Houston, we have failed a generation of children. We've got to figure it out. If our taxes were actually worth a crap, what else would we have? We'd have a healthcare system that didn't need constant government intervention. We'd have doctors who were able to tend to the sick, doctors who could think outside the box. We'd have pharma getting the hell out of our decisions, would we not? If we had a tax structure that worked, ladies and gentlemen, would we pay every single year for the privilege of living on the land that we've paid for after our mortgages have been fulfilled? We wouldn't, would we? If we had a tax structure that worked in a government that was efficient, none of these things that are going on would be going on. And so what do we have? A universal cry for help, for reform, and a call for Americans to refuse to pay. Isn't that interesting? One guy who the media are now going after, who are doxing him, who have called his little sister to harass him. People who are now getting out of their cars in the middle of the street in Minneapolis to lunge after Nick Shirley, not because he did anything wrong, but because he did everything right. He asked questions, and he shared with all of us the truth in your face. And they're still getting away with it. On this New Year's Day, we have a lot of planning to do, don't we? You're going to have black people, white people, rich people, poor people, Jews, Catholics, Muslims. It is the universal color that unites us. The ability of men and women, parents, if they so choose, to go out and work hard, to provide for their families, to save for the future, to think about a vacation, to squirrel for retirement, maybe to pay for tuition. They take that from you. We have a generation of young people right now, my friends, and I have 5 of them in my household who have no faith in the American dream. Why should they? Why would you get up and work? Why would you get up and do the right thing when it seems doing the wrong thing always manages to escape punishment? Where are the punishments? Where are the arrests for the people who lied under oath? Where is that? Where are the arrests for the people who have lied on their mortgages, who've defrauded the system? How about the punishments for the people who've lied about being American citizens? I can think of one right now who happens to be a sitting United States Congresswoman. Where are the penalties? What is the punishment? Why do we always wake up and do the right thing? Because right now, I'm feeling really stupid about doing that. I'm going to share a little tidbit with you. One of my estimated taxes this year, estimated, just before I bend over in April and get the final tally, was $40,000. Now, you can say, wow, that must mean you're doing really well. Or that must mean, wow, you're in the tax bracket that gets boned the most. For what? For an ineffective government that spins in circles? For what? People in other countries to get rich and fund terror cells? For what? For $40 million a week of our money to go to the Taliban? For what? For you and me to work hard. So the doors of this great country are open. And freebies are given to those who don't deserve it, who then spit in our face and steal from us. This might, in fact, be the great American uniter. One 23-year-old young man, the left wants to call him MAGA. They want to call him conservative. We'll just call him honest. And isn't that refreshing for a change? When we come back on the Wendy Bell radio program, TikToker, why do we do the right thing all the time? She asks it. What a great question. As an absolute nut job liberal, shows you what we're really up against. Next on the Wendy Bell Radio Network.
I just sent you a text. No, it's not going to hurt your feelings.
Thank you. I don't know which one. The CBS?
Yes. It's maybe worth grabbing.
So the CBS Evening News is making a mea culpa?
He's saying that he's done. He's not. He's talking to the
Who is
American
he?
people, and he hasn't talked to the American people. I guess he's the new guy.
I don't know who this is. So we have to figure out who that is. I don't know. If they don't realize that, if the media don't realize that this great awakening is also a great walking away, like I don't need to tune in to CBS Evening News to see Nick Shirley. I don't need that. I just need this, and everybody has one. All you need is an app, and they're free, right? Except for the taxes you pay on your phone and, of course, the service, right?
That's not Tony DeCopel.
That could be Tony DeCopel.
Doesn't look.
Can I let me hear him. Let me play him, and then I'll know.
Has changed since the first person sat in this chair, but for me, the biggest difference is people do not trust us like they used to.
No crap! Jackass.
America.
Okay, that's fine. We can grab that. If you want to grab that, that'd be good. Thank you very much, Brock. I want to tell you guys literally about the Simkovich Concussion Institute out of the gate. Had a talk with our mutual friend. I want to tell you about the life-changing experience that our friend has had, somebody I care about very much. This is the woman who's had this terrible essential tremor to the effect that she really couldn't even carry a plate of food if she wanted to. It would spill all over the place. It's no way to live your life. And when you spend your time in public, clenching your muscles so you're not shaking as much as you are, your whole body gets whacked out. Your whole everything about how you stand, how you carry yourself, how you feel morning, noon, and night is impacted. She went to go see Dr. Simkovich at the Simkovich Concussion Institute. And Doc had said to me, you know what? I've never treated somebody specifically for essential tremor here. And I said, well, do you have anything to lose? And he said, no. And my friend said about 80%, 75 to 80% of her symptoms are gone. Right? And I talked to her yesterday and she's like, you have absolutely no idea how different this is in my life. It's a whole new beginning. It doesn't matter what age you are. Start from scratch. Get reset. Let Dr. Simkovich fix you. Come to Pittsburgh. Spend a couple days here. Maybe 4. That's what's needed. SimkovichConcussionInstitute.com. 412-366-3700. 412-366-3700. Factory reset, right? Like we've had all of these status updates. Please click here to update, right? And you do, and then, oh, there goes more fraud, waste, and abuse. Here's another update. Oh, more corruption, more dirtbags, more scum, right? We just hit a factory reset. Nick Shirley going out in Minneapolis and knocking on doors and putting together a video and showing everyone, showing hundreds of millions of people, showing people around the world what has been going on in one microcosm of this country has not only illuminated how ridiculously unnecessary your legacy news is, how abjectly biased, disgustingly slanted, and how perversely hateful they are of anybody on the right who dares ask questions or tell the truth. That's an extremist. No, you're a freak. We want the truth. There's a difference. Not only has Nick Shirley managed to expose the fraud that is the media, he's erased all of these ridiculous lines that divide us. Because at the end of the day, what do you want? More of the money that you work hard to earn in your pocket? What do you want? You want to be in charge, not somebody else. One kid started all that, and there's no coming back from that. I want you to hear this woman. She's sitting in her car. I think she's sitting in her. No, this is the woman who's like, look, I tell you what, I do the right thing, and I got to ask myself, why do I do the right thing? We're told the golden rule, right? Do unto others. Always do the right thing because it is the right thing to do. But where's the payoff? Where's the incentive? Where's that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow? When the people who lie and cheat and steal and do all of this crap to us never freaking get punished. Why should I do everything right? Good question.
I want to talk about how the average American is starting to feel as major corruption is being exposed, especially now with the case in Minnesota and the daycare fraud. This is not just about money being stolen anymore. It's about a growing feeling that being a good citizen, being a hardworking person, paying your taxes may not be worth it. People are starting to feel stupid. They think, well, I'm here, I'm playing by the rules, I am working hard, I'm providing for my family, I'm doing the hard work, and I'm the idiot. You see the memes online and we laugh, like, oh, me on my way to work, thinking that I should have just opened a daycare center in Minnesota and made millions. And again, it is funny, but it's also deeply sad. Because the next thing is, why am I even doing this? And that's the part that no one wants to talk about, because this kind of feeling shapes culture. I come from Brazil, as you know, and in Brazil we have this thing we call the Brazilian way, which is the idea that there's always a shortcut, there's always a loophole, a way to take advantage of a situation. And people think it comes out of nowhere. Oh, it's just the Brazilian way of living. No, this comes from years of Brazilian people being robbed and nothing being done with the thieves. So we now think that survival means cheating the system before it cheats you. Eventually, people stop believing that being honest is rewarded. When a society teaches its citizens that being honest makes you a loser, well, that's really dangerous. You don't just lose money. You lose trust. You lose dignity. You lose the culture that holds it all together. And once that's gone, it's really hard to get back.
It's gone. You guys, it's not on the way gone. It's not sort of gone. It's not like on a train pulling out gone. It's freaking gone. I don't trust anybody. I don't trust doctors. I don't trust lawyers. I don't trust politicians. I trust nobody in the media. I don't trust teachers. I don't trust accountants. I trust nobody. Nobody. They did that to us. You know, and Brock has scrambled, and we're going to play it for you. We don't have to do it right now. We're going to play it for you here in just a minute. He found something. Tony DeCopel from CBS with the mea culpa. Oh, my gosh. It appears we've lost your trust. Hello? Really? And then there are those who will not be saved, who believe the propaganda. Like this woman. She's a total nutbag. This is why white college-educated liberal chicks in America are the scourge of our society. She says, you know what? More people need to be mean to Nick Shirley. Really?
So I took a deep dive to find out who Nick Shirley is. And let me tell you, 23-year-old Mormon from Utah, never went to college, never went to journalism school, never even took a journalism class. But you know what he did do? He went to prom with his mom during the pandemic. And you know what? The more I see about the relationship with him and his mom is a snowplow mom. She's the type of mom that just gets in front of him and plows away any hurdles. My son's great, my son's great. So now your son has experienced some accountability because he was defaming businesses when he had no grounds to stand on. He wasn't a journalist. He wasn't a reporter. You can't just walk up to the school and be like, how many kids are here? Let me see the kids. No, you're a grown-ass man who's now going to have consequences for defamation. And the mom is up there, stop being mean to my son. No, you know what? Maybe if more people were mean to him, he wouldn't be in the position he's in right now. Be mean.
Can you believe it? Yeah, I can. We've watched the decay, the rot of the American woman. What happened to these people? Be mean to the young man who exposed your money being stolen every single day. Got it. Ladies and gentlemen, we have so much to talk about today. And when we come back on the Wendy Bell radio program, Nick sits down with Patrick Bet David to talk about the reaction he's gotten on the streets of Minneapolis. How he's been doxxed, his own sister harassed, and what's coming next. It's going to piss these people off even more. Next on the Wendy Bell Radio Network. Ew. How about her with her fake nails? Look, I'm not a big looks person. I don't judge you based on your facial features. I don't judge you based on your physicalness. I don't look at your body and make a decision about you, right? But that is an ugly woman. That is an ugly woman. And the ugly comes from the inside. It comes as a rot, and it comes out on the outside with the facial, the sanctimonious, that sort of thing that she does with her stupid fake fingernails, and then the tinkle, tink, 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 tink of her drink. This is the sanctimonious, holier than thou issue among liberal women. If you're a conservative woman, I'll tell you what, sky's the limit. You pick anybody you want out there because there is an entire world of men who are desperate to find somebody who's not a lunatic. because there are a lot of chicks out there who are. They're liberals. So if you're conservative, embrace your traditional values and get ready because the men are hungry for somebody who doesn't suck. Anywho, let me tell you about bloodflow7.com/Wendy. Okay, so I never was into supplements. About 2 years ago, that changed. And it was really Brickhouse Nutrition, Field of Greens, right? Started that off for me. And then this company called Juvenon reached out. And they're like, we'd love you to try this product of ours. See if you'd like to get behind it. I'm like, well, what does it do? It increases your blood flow. And I was like, how do you know? Like, that's kind of an arbitrary thing to say. How do you know? Like, what's the marker for that? And they're like, well, try it for a couple days and we'll call you and see how you feel. 3 hours later, you're like the Energizer Bunny. All of a sudden, there's this energy. There's this enthusiasm. There's this wherewithal that in the middle of the afternoon usually hits that wall and you're like, not anymore. In just a few hours, the nitric oxide molecule inside this Blood Flow 7 opens up your blood vessels and your arteries and gets the blood pumping through your body. Increases it by 260%. How do you know? Well, you become focused. The fog goes away. Your energy, out of sight. Stamina, unreal. If you exercise, talk to me after you take this. You're welcome. Bloodflow7.com/Wendy. I will not stop. And my boys, Alpha Gold Male, it's the sister product of this at the same spot. For men, testosterone, all the good things that men need versus what women need. Alpha Gold Male, same spot. Bloodflow7.com/Wendy. Honest to goodness, try 1 month and then send me an email. WendyBellRadio@gmail.com. I want to know. I've yet to get one person who's like, I don't know, it didn't really do anything for me. And I've probably gotten 75 testimonials. Bloodflow7.com/Wendy. Okay. How's everybody? Wow. We have almost 10,000 people.
We must be in the big
We must be in the big box. I'm not getting out. Can anybody tell me if they see us in the big box? We are. Duh. Nobody puts baby in the corner. Just kidding.
So we fell a little short of our
I know.
80K for yesterday. We're 500 followers away. If you're new, follow the show.
Yeah. So
we're here every day.
It's easy to do. Just hit the follow button right underneath the video box. Hit the rumble button. That's the thumbs up one. And that's the one that helps us out a lot. It's great to be with you. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. The whole Nick Shirley thing and these women, they want to, instead of investigate the fraud, they want to investigate the whistleblower of the fraud, right? So we're going to investigate Nick Shirley. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. So the gal was like, he's a 23-year-old Mormon. I don't know if he's Mormon.
Who cares?
I didn't care. I'm like, why do I care? I don't care who you sleep with. I don't care if you're a virgin. I don't care if you're
Somalian.
I don't care. You know, if you have information you want to share and it's to the benefit of the people and we can fact check you, which we can, let's go. It's the same thing they did to Elon Musk. I hate Tesla.
So
what?
When do you want to fit Tony in there? 10:30 before McHugh?
That's a great idea. That is a great idea, Brock. Yes, we will do here,
Or
Tony.
Bottom of 10.
Let's get through this segment and then we'll kind of see where it feels like we might have the breathing room for it. Unless you think we should just do it now.
No, I think you promoted Nick and I think there's a lot of good content there.
You know what I love about this young man? He doesn't care what you think. Nope. He doesn't care. He says, I'm a virgin. You know? I'm a 23-year-old virgin. Good for you. Right? I don't care. It wasn't like some deciding factor on whether or not I trust you. But you know what that means? I'm going to go with this. There's probably not a lot of videos on the internet, like Hunter Biden videos, right? He's not going to have like crack mouth. He's not going to have the meth mouth. He's not going to have a crack pipe in his mouth.
Or hookers.
He's not snorting coke off of a hooker's butt, right? You're not going to see that. He's a young man. He's raised by Christian values. Oh no, the scourge. I hate that. Right? Nick Shirley makes me proud. Makes me proud. Well, welcome back to the Wendy Bell radio program. You know, in the commercial break, and we invite you to join us on the live video stream because you can watch in real time all of this stuff going on in the commercial breaks and then join in the live chat. I love hearing what you guys are thinking, where you're from. WendyBellRadio.com is how you get there. I was just talking about how I would feel and how I do feel as a mom with sons in the same age frame as Nick Shirley. You know what I did not do with this young man? I didn't do some kind of a deep dive on him. I didn't dig into his past and see if I could find any dirt on him. I didn't find out where he's from. I really don't care. I don't think it's germane at all to the job that he did that exposed the failures of your legacy media, right? I don't really care about his backstory. I want to hear what he has to say. And you're going to hear what he has to say as he sat down yesterday with Patrick Bet-David on his podcast. Some of this stuff is really eye-popping. And it gives me, I think it underscores this optimism I do have for this Generation Z. I know a lot of people are saying, oh, that generation, write them off. What a bunch of, they're lazy. They want everything given to them. No, they want not to be absolutely swallowed by our debt, because we made bad decisions or allowed those decisions to be made while we were asleep at the wheel. Here's Nick Shirley with Patrick Bet-David. He's got this I don't give a boop kind of attitude about the haters who have come out of the woodwork. Look, if you hate that Nick Shirley exposed the fraud in Minnesota that's ripping off American taxpayers billions of dollars and sending it to Somalia, then the problem is with you, not Nick Shirley. And he's well aware of that. Audio soundbite number 1.
These people are like, I saw something, someone's calling me like a PDF. They're saying all these crazy allegations. I'm like, hey, what sucks for them is they're never going to be able to get me. I don't drink alcohol. I don't do drugs. I'm a virgin. I don't have sex with random girls. You're not going to catch me on no sexual allegation charges. I don't have any addictions. I don't have any vices. So what are these people going to get me for? They're done. I'm religious. I believe in God. I'm everything they hate.
I love that.
So what are they going to get me for? They can't get me for anything. Like, they're going to come after me for my personality or for a stunt I did in high school, maybe. That's maybe the best thing they could get me for, is for Nick Shirley being a young, reckless teenager, just like any other YouTube prankster. Go ahead. I don't care. Like, I have nothing to hide. Like, I literally have nothing to hide. So, like, I am going to become their worst enemy, and you're going to start seeing them using the slandering tactics, and it's just going to be comical for me because they can't get anything on me.
I don't care, he says. I know exactly who I am. I live at home. You know where I spend my time? With my family. You know why? Because I love them. I go to church. I love God. I haven't had sex yet. I haven't met the right person. I don't get involved in drugs. I don't drink. I tell the truth, and that's my biggest sin, according to these people on the left. All the knives out for the truth tellers. Isn't that illustrative? Who's scared? Audio soundbite number 2, Nick Shirley on going to more cities now and taking the gentleman who is really the crux of the whistleblower documentation, David, who appeared in Nick Shirley's video in Minneapolis. He's like, look, I've been compiling this data for more than 5 years. He's going to other cities and he's taking David with him, damn straight.
Are there certain places you're targeting next?
Yeah, I have a whole list of places I want to go next, especially with the fraud. So me and David will be going to more cities. I'm going to bring David because David's the man, dude. Everyone loved him.
Tell me why.
But he's super smart, and he just cares about the country, and he cares about law being upheld. And fraud is fraud. Like, it's so annoying that you have people receiving millions of dollars. Meanwhile, we are all working so hard just to give our sometimes even half of our check to the government, right? And so we'll be going to more places. When you have a place like California where they just lose $24 billion, it needs to be investigated. People deserve to know where they're going, especially when it's affecting your quality of life. if you're living in California.
Yeah, there's no question about it. By the way, Theo Vaughn yesterday, did you see what he tweeted yesterday?
Yeah, he's like, why are we paying taxes?
Why are we paying taxes? Right? If you're paying taxes, it's because you want to see good happen with the taxes that you're paying.
Yeah, and I think what's so amazing is my journalism is actually creating change. So what's so amazing about what I'm doing right now with my journalism is that it's actually creating change. So people are mad at me for this, though. You're seeing them come at me on CBS, CNN, and every single time they point out something, they say, conservative YouTuber, MAGA YouTuber. They just can't admit that I'm creating real change inside of the country right now. And never before have one of their investigations ever led to a point where they say, oh, wait, we're going to stop funding, and we're going to make sure everything's legit before we start giving them money. I mean, with that video alone, I could have just saved the country hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars.
I love it. He's going to California, you guys. I don't know about you, but that's how I read that. We're going to California. How do you just lose $24 billion for homelessness? How do you charge residents in the state that I'm from? How do you charge them $650 million in a tax for 911 overhaul system, a new 911 system, when at the end of that, there is no system? It's broken. Where did the freaking money go? Well, there's Nick Shirley, because CBS isn't asking the questions. CNN ain't on the ground. MSNBC isn't there digging into the facts, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, my. Nick talks about getting threats now. And the media going after his family.
Have you gotten any threats? Like actual
lots.
Death threats?
Yeah, well, in person and also...
Can you tell me about that? Like, are they messaging you saying, we're going to get you? What are they saying to you?
Yeah, like they're saying, oh, like, kirked. You're going to be kirked.
You're going to be kirked. That's what they're saying to you.
Yeah, like you're the next, you'll be the next Kirk. And it's just like, are you kidding me? Because it's not even, like, I hate what's happening right now. Like, I feel bad for my family, honestly, because it's like, yeah, like, we didn't do anything wrong. And yet you guys are coming after me like I'm some sort of villain. Right? So I'm like, my little sister's getting phone calls. I'm like, why are you guys doing this?
Your little sister's getting phone calls?
Yeah, from like the news. I'm like, okay, don't talk to my family. I mean, some news in India, they doxed my home, they doxed my dad, it was really weird. And I haven't even told my dad about that because I just don't want to even bother him about it.
Well, Dad, you know now.
But like they put it, like, it's just like, are you guys kidding me? Like, why are you guys coming after somebody for going against fraud? Like, I didn't make this a right or left issue. I just showed you guys that fraud was happening, and now you guys are coming after me. You're saying, I'll be the next Kirk. You're literally stopping at intersections and coming after me and trying to attack me. Like, what? Why are you so evil? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, why are you defending fraud? Do you like money being stolen? No. Then what are you doing? You're a racist. No, I'm not a racist. I'm just telling you what the facts are. You guys are stealing money from the people that are working hard here inside the United States.
If anything happens to that young man, a warning to the wise, if anything happens to that man, there will be a revolution. Here's Nick Shirley with Patrick Bet-David talking about Somalian men hunting him down basically on the streets and yelling at him. You can't make it up.
I was literally talking to a black man, and then the Somali man comes out, and he's also black. So I can't understand what they're thinking, calling me a racist. I'm having a great conversation with a black man, and then another black man comes up, and he's Somali descent, and he comes and attacks me for being a racist. I'm like, no, I'm not a racist. It's so stupid. And that's why the fraud has been able to happen for so long, because people like Tim Walz are afraid to be called racist. And me and my generation, we're over it. Like, we don't care.
Oh, I love that, buddy.
Like, we do not care. Call us a racist. I do not care, because I am not a racist. We're just seeing that prices of homes are so expensive. I don't even have a friend that can afford a home. People aren't getting married because of how expensive things are. And we're paying so much money in taxes. Most kids are... I'm lucky because I didn't go to college. But most kids are starting their life off behind the starting line. They're thousands of dollars in the debt. And so, yes, we're upset because you guys are stealing millions of dollars and getting rich, and then you're bragging about the white man working on TikTok. Who's actually the racist? You're the racist. You're the one saying the white man. You work, white woman. You work, white man. We're sick of it. Nobody cares. Like, stop committing fraud. If you're going to be here, be happy to be here and work hard like we're working hard. Whether you're black, Mexican, Asian, white, just go and work.
How hard is that? How hard is that? How about this on his next video? And this one is going to be epic, he says. This is where he thinks he's going to go.
We have a whole nother video coming out about other fraud that's taking place.
You have a whole new video coming out.
Whole new video. It's going to be a masterpiece because it is crazy. And each and every single time.
More than the first?
Oh, yeah. It's going to be crazier because now the Somalis were they were after me. Like, they were coming and people were stopping in the middle of intersections, hopping out of their car, and I had to get security for this video, coming out just trying to literally attack me.
I saw one of the videos that somebody tried to attack you and you try to protect your camera guy.
Yeah.
Is that still part 1 or is that part 2?
There's so much going on, I don't know.
You know which one I'm talking about? Because I saw one of the clips where you're like, no, you didn't let the guy hit your camera guy. Every time they were swinging at the camera guy, you were standing in front of it.
Yes, I think that was part 1. Part 1, yeah.
Could have been.
Yeah, that was part 1. This one, people were literally pulling over and getting out, like in the middle of an intersection at a red light. They're stopping their car and coming out, and they're just coming out and trying to slam me for being a racist, for being Islamophobe. Meanwhile, I'm interviewing another black man in Minnesota, and they're calling me a racist.
Well, apparently the administration is paying attention. I want you to hear Caroline Levitt. She says the arrests are coming.
Governor Walz is completely incompetent. He always has been, and President Trump has long called him out for his incompetence and his poor leadership in the great state of Minnesota. I want to commend Nick Shirley for his incredible video in Real Journalism that went viral this past week. He epitomizes what new media looks like, and that's exactly why we at the White House, under President Trump's direction, have embraced new media journalists like Nick Shirley. We've welcomed them in to the White House press pool. We invited Nick Shirley to brief the President of the United States at an Antifa roundtable earlier this year. And this fraud in Governor Walz's state in Minnesota is something the Trump administration has been working on since day one. And since Nick Shirley's journalism really brought this issue further to light, we have surged resources across the board to the state. So I want your audience to understand this is a top priority for the administration. The Department of Justice, as we speak, is continuing to execute search warrants and subpoenas. People will be in handcuffs as a result of the fraud that Governor Walz has allowed to occur for many, many years. The Department of Homeland Security is conducting door-to-door investigations on the ground at potential fraud sites, and they are also, of course, conducting continued deportations of illegal aliens in Minnesota's communities. We're also not afraid to use denaturalization. That's a tool at the President and the Secretary of State's disposal, and it's one this administration has previously used before. I know the Health and Human Services Department has also announced we are cutting off all child care funding to the state of Minnesota until we get to the bottom of this fraud. The Department of Labor is investigating their unemployment insurance program. The Department of USDA Agriculture Secretary Rollins weeks ago sent a letter to Governor Walz demanding he turn over every single name of SNAP recipients on the books in Minnesota. And the Minnesota Attorney General actually sued the Trump administration for that. What are they hiding?
Hey, Caroline, I'm going to leave it at this. We want handcuffs. Handcuffs. When we come back on the Wendy Bell radio program, my friends, a woman with a phone exposes a Somalian running for office in Minnesota. You never guess what his side hustle is. A daycare? You got it. Next. Caroline, I love that you're doing all of these things. Handcuffs. Handcuffs. Saying that Brooke Rollins sent a letter, that's not enough anymore. Sorry.
If we...
Huh?
We could...
Hit it today?
What?
What?
No, we could do Tony now and move those two to the next
okay
hour if you'd like. Because it sort of fits. Well,
I just talked about this guy, so I can do this. Let's get these two in and then maybe put in Tony.
He's 220. So.
Okay. So this first one is, let's see.
See, if you're new to the show, this is what you
104.
get to see.
So we have 104, 104, and 220. So I've got 4 minutes. I just got to get into it quick. Hey, Murtech has rated our stream. Okay, I still don't understand what that means, but I'm glad you did. Okay, hi. Okay, so let me tell you guys about one of my wonderful sponsors, and one of my favorites is the main sponsor of this program. I wouldn't put my money, my husband's and my money, with a company to buy gold and silver if that company wasn't reputable. If that company didn't make me feel like I knew what I was doing. If I felt uncomfortable in any way, I sure as heck never would buy gold and silver from them. But Texas Bullion Exchange didn't just win my heart. They won my business. They're honest. They tell you the truth. They love to educate you about gold and silver. It's such a beautiful story. There's so much history involved in it. They love to help you buy it, to help you plan for the future, to help you create a strategy. And they love when you call. And there's a specific phone number that's for Wendy Bell Radio listeners. I'm telling you, I've bought from them twice. And I'm not just talking about a couple things. 855-927-5557. That's our direct line to Texas Bullion Exchange. Our website to land you directly to them to start the conversation, wendylovesgold.com. Wendy loves gold. I do love gold, but I do love being, I don't know,
protected,
confident, feeling like I'm doing something beyond investing in the stock market, which is so, and that's what I've done. And I wouldn't suggest you should do it too if I didn't. wendylovesgold.com, 855-927-5557. You're going to love them. You're going to love them.
Are you in love with the leftist babe?
What do you mean?
Her soundbite?
No. I mean, I think it could maybe exist somewhere else. Do you want to eliminate her and instead put in Tony DeCopel?
Yeah, I think that being said,
okay,
is
okay. I have to remember the context of why I haven't heard his whole. Did you listen to the whole thing? I would imagine he doesn't swear.
No. He's on the news basically saying we've ignored the American people. And that's going to stop.
No duh. Jag off.
And he mentions the stories that they've ignored. The Hunter laptop, the Russia collusion.
I don't know what you're talking about, Brock. That laptop wasn't real. Hold on. There was no laptop. It's not chronicled in this report. And not every single photograph and everything is in here. What are you talking about? Hey, Tony. Hi, I'm an independent reporter. I managed to get my hands on the entire hard drive. What have you done? Buried it, scumbag. So what are they saying now? Oh, shite. Well, welcome back to the Wendy Bell Radio program, you guys. So I want to get this lady. This woman is sitting in her house, right? I have no idea who she is. She could be another citizen journalist. She could be just like you are. And she's like, you know what? Nick Shirley got me thinking a little bit. Did you know that there's a Somalian guy running for the state house in Minnesota who's very interesting because she found it out. Let's listen in.
Meet Abdi. He is running for Minnesota House District 14A. And I bet you'll never guess what type of business Abdi owns. Blooming Kids Childcare. And I did a little research on Blooming Kids, and they have quite the laundry list of violations as well, just like the other ones that we were looking at. And over the years, they've been violated for no first aid kits, unsanitary conditions, not complying with CPR regulations, no supervision for the kids, not operating within the terms of their license. They never submitted their DHS background study when requested. Children were subjected to prohibited disciplinary actions, no furnishings, no equipment, no materials, and no supplies. No documents to show that the teachers were qualified to do the job. Same violations happen over and over and over. No immunization records for any of the children, not enough staff. So I'm not able to see how much money that this particular daycare center is getting from the state or the federal government because that needs to be done by somebody who has access to that information, which I don't. I did look up his campaign fund donations and he's not getting any from any daycare center. So if somebody can tag Nick Shirley, let him know that he should probably look into this one too.
So Abdi's Blooming Kids Child Care Center has violated all of these rules? And this dude thinks he should be a representative in Minnesota? Are you out of your mind? I'm sure the media are all over it as we speak right now. Here's CBS News anchor Tony DeCopel. This is something that wasn't on my bingo card today. A little bit of a mea culpa. Please don't leave us. We know we suck. We know we've lied to you. We know we're the devil, but don't leave us, please.
A lot has changed since the first person sat in this chair, but for me, the biggest difference is people do not trust us like they used to. And it's not just us, it's all of legacy media. And I get it. I get it because I've been hearing about it from just about everybody for more than 20 years as I've traveled America on this assignment or that. My mom's neighbors in West Virginia, my own neighbors in New York City, thousands and thousands of conversations in between. Sometimes people want to talk to me about our coverage of NAFTA or the Iraq War. Other times it's all about Hillary Clinton's emails or Russiagate. Or more recently, COVID lockdowns, Hunter Biden's laptop, or the president's fitness for office. The point is, on too many stories, the press has missed the story because we've taken into account the perspective of advocates and not the average American. Or we put too much weight in the analysis of academics or elites and not enough on you. And I know this because at certain points, I have been you. I have felt this way too. I felt like what I was seeing and hearing on the news didn't reflect what I was seeing and hearing in my own life, and that the most urgent questions simply weren't being asked. So here's my promise to you today and every time you see me in this chair. You come first, not advertisers, not politicians, not corporate interests. And yes, that does include the corporate owners of CBS. I report for you, which means I tell you what I know, when I know it, and how I know it. And when I get it wrong, I'll tell you that too. It also means I'm going to talk to everybody and hold everyone in public life to the very same standard. After all, I became a journalist to talk to people. I love talking to people about what works in this country, what doesn't, and not only what should change, but the good ideas that should never change. I think telling the truth is one of them. I'm Tony DeCopel, the anchor of the CBS Evening News. Hold me to it.
Oh my gosh. Too little too late, buddy. It took one 23-year-old kid with a cell phone to knock on doors. Tony, where the hell were you? And now that you realize, with your plummeting ratings and everybody distrusting every damn thing you say, oh no, hurry, we've got to get him back. Come back. I'm sorry, brother. It's over. We are the new media now. Because you know what? We've asked questions from the beginning. We lost jobs because of it. I personally lost 350,000 Facebook followers when I got bounced. Why? For doing your job, Tony. Suck it. When we come back on the Wendy Bell Radio program. I thought that was clear. Why are we even paying taxes? I know, right? Don't miss this conversation next on the Wendy Bell Radio Network. Jag off. That pisses me off. Oh, I've been out there. I've been asking the same questions. No, you haven't, bro. You've been getting paid. You know what? I asked questions of the station I used to work at before I got fired, which began my slippery slope to getting fired, right? And what did I want to know? You know what? I'm not really down with some of the things we're reporting because I know that the 23-year-old producer didn't write this story. So I cut and pasted it and I plugged it into the Google machine. And what did it show me? Oh, it was ripped in red from where?
AP.
AP. Oh, what's AP? Associated Press. Oh, these are the arbiters of what is fact and what is fiction. Suck it. Suck it. And then I caught them making a lie, saying a lie about an election. And I was like, why did we report that? And I was told, shut your mouth and read the prompter. And I went home and I told my husband, as the main anchor of this TV station, I don't know how much longer I can do this. That's conflict, Tony.
We'll see how well that ages.
I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Who here thinks that's going to age poorly? Now, I would have loved for him to say, you know that news story that got canned last week from 60 Minutes? That's what we're changing. That's what we're going to do different. We're not going to put pieces out like that. You might have got a little bit of me with that, but I don't even, you kind of want to say, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. They didn't earn it. They don't deserve it anymore. And don't let them fool you. It doesn't matter about advertisers. Yeah, it does. It all does. I don't know. For how long? Let's just listen to the stories. The years that he's said just through those stories that haven't been told. He essentially admitted we've lied by omission for 10 years, 15 years. But now he's here. He's good. Tony's going to put his foot down. And what does CNN and ABC and CBS, they send reporters not about the fraud. They send reporters to talk about what he did wrong. Now we're going to get the story. The story isn't Nick Shirley and what was right or wrong. The story's fraud. So they didn't even get the story, the true story, the coverage of fraud when it was thrown in their face. Their thing is to talk about the right-wing YouTuber. Like she said, suck it, Tony. Suck it, CBS.
I'm super pissed.
I think it was worth playing.
I am so angry right now. I can't even see straight. I was going to the bathroom and my hands were shaking. I was like, I want to take him and I want to throw him upstairs. You know what? It just kind of is a throat punch kind of day. How dare you? How dare you? Like, oh my gosh. Okay. That is so insulting. That is so insulting. You know who that works on? That works on the crowd that still believes 60 Minutes.
Yes.
That's the crowd that still reads the Wall Street Journal and wants to share with you a couple of the articles. And you're like, you realize that is the most biased bunk. And they're like, no, I mean, the editorials, some of them are really good. And you're like, really?
But let's see.
Peggy Noonan, she's great. Really?
Let's see for the people who watch 60 Minutes and still believe 60 Minutes and ask them what they think of that. Now do you know you've been lied to for 10 years, 15 years? Now you're going to believe them? All of a sudden, if I lied to you for 15 years, and then I said, listen, I know I've lied by omission for 15 years, but you really need to trust me on this one.
Yeah.
You're going to be like, no way. Let's see if they hold the news media the same way you would hold your family and friends accountable. That's it. If I lied to you for 15 years, you'd never trust me again.
Anywho, I'm going to tell you about Dr. Richard Rafferty and the Disc Institute of Pittsburgh.
He won't lie to you. He'll tell you if he can help you or not.
There are good people out there who do good things, and he's one of them. And I've been very honest about watching my mom before she passed away, being in miserable pain because of problems with her back, because of her discs. And I told you about my dad who had terrible degeneration of his discs, needed surgery. But if he was here, I would have gotten him in touch with Dr. Rafferty and he would have gone through intradisc neutrosis. It's a non-surgical. Nobody's cutting into you. No blood. There's no needles. There's no going under the knife. No rolling the dice with how it's going to end up. No scalpel going into your spine. Right? It's you getting therapy from Dr. Rafferty and your discs growing back. Yeah. It's beautiful and it works. It's 98% successful. I wouldn't tell you about it if it wasn't life-changing. 412-906-9600. Look, wherever you live, PittsburghDiscInstitute.com. Yes, it's Pittsburgh. Yes, you would come here for this. And yes, it'll change your world. PittsburghDiscInstitute.com. I literally, I don't know what I'm going to say coming up. I'm so angry. And I'm keenly aware that Newsmax is taking this hour live, so that shouldn't change anything.
Hit that Rumble button.
Oh, my goodness. Yes, Rumble, like, follow. Thank you. Happy New Year.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wendy Bell, America's anchor mom, fighting for America 1 hour at a time. Welcome to the family.
The following public service announcement is brought to you by a generous grant from the Tim Waltz Somali State Flag Fund, the Ilhan Omar Imaginary Children's Fund, and by Somali Pirates for a Better America. Raise the Somali Roger.
Okay, well, Tim is replacing the Minnesota flag with the far superior Somali flag. I want to talk to you about an amazing business opportunity. Have you ever dreamed of making passive income from a daycare center, but you hate kids in America? Yeah, we all do. But now it is easier than ever to make millions of dollars on your very own chain of daycare centers, and you don't even need any children to attend. Get your $4 million grant so you can open up your very own Learning Center. Is that supposed to say Learning Center? Doesn't matter. Who cares?
3 hours of bold truth and excellence. You've just signed up for the WBR Army. Strap in. This is the Wendy Bell radio program.
Welcome back. It is hour number 2 of the Wendy Bell radio program. Remember, you can follow us anytime, wendybellradio.com. And a big programming note for those of you who are frequent flyers here, you probably already know. But come Monday, we are bouncing over to noon to 3 Eastern time. And we hope that you will come and you will join us, our new home. And we're so grateful that you've allowed us to make it happen. All right, I got to respond. I have to respond to what we just heard in the segment prior, okay? We heard Tony DeCopel, the evening news anchor over at CBS, sit down in front of the camera for 2 minutes and tell us, I understand. I agree with you. The media have become unbelievable. We haven't covered stories that you've wanted us to talk about. We've run interference for the truth. We flat out lied to your faces as the propaganda wing of the Democratic Party. But we understand and we're sorry. And this is a new day, the beginning of a new year, the beginning of a new dawn. Join us with the legacy news. Suck it, Tony. Suck it good. How dare you? How dare you sit down in front of the camera? Where were you during COVID, Tony? Because I was getting fired for asking questions. I was wondering what was going on in my own neighborhood. And living with a doctor as a husband, I got a firsthand glimpse at the insanity that you guys covered up. I got deplatformed, Tony. What happened to you? Did you get a promotion over at CBS for being a good little propagandist? Where were you on the laptop? Oh, because I was right there covering it from the beginning. How about all of the crazy during COVID? Fauci and all of the lockdown mumbo jumbo. Where were you, Tony, when American school children fell through the chasm of no return? Were you out there covering that? Were you covering the millions of dollars of missing iPads, stolen iPads from Chicago? Were you out there covering all of the assaults on pregnancy centers and churches during the woke nonsense? Where have you been, Tony? You certainly have not been a voice of the people. You haven't asked the questions that we've been asking, that I personally lost 3 jobs over. Where were you? Sitting back, enjoying the makeup and the hair and the lights and the cameras. And now you realize because everybody has walked away. Oh, crap. Now what? So you sit down and you look in the camera and you do a 2-minute video about how you understand. You answer to the people, not to the executives at CBS, not to Barry Weiss, not to any of these people. You answer to the American people. No, you don't. You're a hack. You're a figment. Nick Shirley proved to us in one 42 freaking minute video that he's more of a journalist than you will ever be. So spare us your sanctimony, falling on the sword. I understand. But honest to God, I'm going to start telling the truth real soon. Promise. Infuriating. Now, take media out of my ire and insert government. Now you're really going to get hot. The big question going on now in so many homes, probably yours as well. Why are we even paying taxes? Theo Vaughn asked that question yesterday, appropriately so, with a very simple tweet that has seen millions of views. It goes like this. What are we paying taxes for? 8.3 million views, thousands of comments later. It's almost like we've struck a nerve. Really? So let's talk about it. Here's a TikToker. Her name is Liberal Tier Creator. This is where the new news is, Tony. This is the media now. I am the media now. You at home watching, you with your phone who goes out, sits in your car and turns the camera around on yourself and says, this doesn't make sense. You are the new media now, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to this young lady who says, you know what? Joe Rogan and Sean Ryan are talking about a woman who chronicles the absurdity of American taxes, and she plays it for you. This woman is right. Listen.
You see that video? No, it's bananas.
Hear me out. You work for an entire year. You pay 24% federal tax, 5% state tax. That's 29% tax already. 29% of the year is 106 days. You're literally working 106 days for free before you even make $1 for your family. That's about how many days politicians actually work. Go to work, taxed. Save your money, taxed. 401k, taxed. Pension, taxed. Buy a car, taxed. Drive that car, taxed. Put gas in that car, extra taxed. Buy a home, taxed. Want to sell a home, taxed. You want to eat some food, taxed. Want a little drinky drink, taxed. Want to go fishing, taxed. Want to go shopping, taxed. Invest, tax. Inherit, tax. Die, you guessed it, tax. And for what? To fund illegal migrants, foreign wars, and families scamming the system? Please. It seems we're in the land of the taxed and the home of the freeloaders. I think it might be time to spill some tea or something again.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Oh my! Yes, yes, yes. Here's podcaster Andy Frisella. He's calling for a tax strike. Why do we work to give the government half of what we make? We are not free.
Things could be so different, but we have a group of entitled rulers, quote unquote, that believe that they rule over us and they take half of our our entire lives. And then when you die, they take 60% of what you've accumulated and have already paid taxes on. We are not free. There is no difference between what we do here and what they do in North Korea, where they tell them, oh, you're free, we're the greatest, we're the best, but they can't see what's going on anywhere. Okay, most Americans have never been out of the country.
No.
And if they have, it's to Mexico or Canada.
Don't count.
Okay, they've never been
off this continent.
Exactly,
yeah. No.
bro.
No, they haven't.
This is all bull. There's a reason that the wealthiest people in the world are moving to Dubai and places in the Far East. There's a reason for it. Taxation was never meant to be a permanent thing anyway.
No.
And it just went more and more and more and more. Dude, 20-year-old kids in 1776 literally killed over 3% tax.
On tea.
Yeah, and what are we doing?
Yeah. Tax me harder, Daddy.
Yeah. Oh, well, I don't know. I don't want to rock the boat. If you don't rock the boat, there ain't going to be no boat.
Yeah, but if I don't pay taxes, Andy, how will the Somalians start their daycares and take care of all those Somali kids?
Every American should highly consider organizing and not paying tax, period.
This story is the great uniter, ladies and gentlemen. Money. Oh my, here is Senator Eric Schmidt. He's like, look, we've got statutes on the books to bounce these people who are ripping us off.
Now, I'm kind of tired of the talk. This is a broader legal immigration problem. We talk a lot about illegal immigration, but this is a legal immigration problem. So from my perspective, under 18 U.S.C. 1343, the wire fraud statute, there ought to be prosecutions immediately. Every visa that can be revoked should be revoked. Every deportation that should happen right away. And in some cases where necessary, denaturalization should happen. A strong signal should be sent to immigrant communities that if you're going to come here and fleece the American taxpayer, we're actually going to prioritize taxpayers over this toxic empathy that's dominated the Democrat Party. Secondly, you talked about some of the COVID fraud abuse. The Biden administration, Jason, pushed so much money out the door for causes and issues that were never related to COVID. I think you're going to see another wave of this fraud, and you have to have state AGs who are serious about it, and hopefully President Trump's U.S. attorneys, when those state AGs don't step up, do it as well. But I think Congress certainly plays a role, but I'm sort of done with the talking. This is about prosecutions now. This is about putting people in jail that have taken billions of dollars, billions of dollars.
Toxic empathy on the part of the Democrats, he said. I disagree, Senator. I believe it's diabolical greed, and it's both aisles. It is the uniparty. It is the sewer, the deep state, the swamp. Here's Carrie Lake. Put him in effing handcuffs. Oh, my.
The corruption at my agency, the corruption at agency after agency, and there's not a damn person in handcuffs. Yet they dragged Roger Stone out of his house. They raided Mar-a-Lago. They attacked President Trump. When are we going to see some effing handcuffs on some effing criminals in this country? The American people have had it up to here, and we want some people locked up, prosecuted behind bars for the rest of their lives. We're sick and tired of it.
100%. And one more, Eric Schmidt, senator from Missouri. Mass deportations sound kind of reasonable. What do you think?
But now I think the next phase of what this is, the mass deportations that need to happen to meet the mass migration that was opened up by Joe Biden, the 20 million people. Then also these, through the legal immigration problem, we have the H-1B visas that are displacing American workers, the OPT program that are displacing American students. This is part of an immigration system that is tilted against the American people. And when you see the fraud, when you see people getting cash to come here, no background checks, being put up at the Roosevelt Hotel, the welfare benefits they're going to non-citizens. If you're, a working class American that sees this, you're right to be frustrated with your government. And I think this is an opportunity to regain the trust of the American people and go after this fraud.
These two words are trending on social media now. Fraud fatigue. I would say it's fury. Enough is enough. Listen to more voices. People are done. I hope the government's paying attention. Next on the Wendy Bell Radio Network. Carrie Lake's pissed. I was pissed. I know. I'm with her. Okay. So I'm going to shake it up. This is what it looks like, okay? So when I sit here and I talk to you about this drink I have every single day that Dr. Gundry invented that helped him lose 70 pounds, and people are like, you drank something and you lose 70 pounds, please. Look, this is different than a shot. This is different than other things. This is for people who want to lose weight in a slow and steady, dependable fashion. Dr. Stephen Gundry, he's a heart transplant surgeon. A pediatric heart transplant surgeon. Very smart, right? He created this drink that he says does something very specific to your body, and it allows you to dump calories that your body kind of holds on to like it's a squirrel with nuts for the winter. Well, you can flip a switch in your body by drinking this that allows your body to dump those calories and allows you to start losing weight. Imagine losing a pound every 3 or 4 days. And you're not doing a whole lot different. You're drinking this drink, right? And this is delicious. This is the one I'm drinking. It's the watermelon lemonade. You drink this drink and it's a meal substitute. So instead of having breakfast, maybe instead of having lunch, it's going to fill you up. It's going to kill your cravings and your hunger for about 5 hours. It's delicious. So it satisfies that sweet kind of tangy, flavor that you want. And Dr. Gundry says he's known thousands of people who've lost significant weight. How do you get it? I drink it every day. I love it. It's called MCT Wellness, but you can get it by going to thehealthyfat.com/Wendy. Thehealthyfat.com/Wendy. Dr. Gundry always tells you how it works. There is a video that is accompanying this particular product. Watch the video, whether you buy the product or not. This is what it looks like. Whether you buy it or not, you're going to learn something and it's going to benefit you. And that's what I love about Dr. Gundry. So it's called MCT Wellness, but it's really thehealthyfat.com/Wendy. It is tasty. Anything that can help you lose weight slowly so you don't get that weird like Ozempic face. You know what I mean? I've seen a lot of people with that. This is it. It's just delicious. Pebble ice from the Chef IQ. Okay.
Think about taxes.
God, don't even.
Just
40,000 estimated taxes.
How much could you have saved? So you didn't have to, they wouldn't have to up the age to retirement.
Mm-hmm.
You could have easily a down payment on a house. I could have an extra $3,000 in my pocket every month. Every month. It's.
Can you imagine what you'd be able to do and what that money would do to the economy? Right? So you have money
I
in
wouldn't
your
have
pocket.
to work till I'm 70.
You could save a good chunk and then you could
You can invest in your house, put more people back to work. It's mind numbing.
Yes, it is. Don't you hate everyone? I hate everyone. I hate hating everyone, but I do kind of hate everyone. Sorry.
I said this before. I said this yesterday. Don't tax. Let me write off my mortgage every year. Let me write off my car every year. Instead of taxing me, instead of just letting me write off the interest that you've already taken.
Oh God, don't get me started on all of this.
All these things we could write off on top of the standard deduction.
This is a long bite coming back. Let's see, how much is this? $224. Yeah, I like this guy.
Yeah, there was a lot of editing today.
I know. But there was a lot of swearing.
That's because people are pissed.
100%. 100%. Well, welcome back to the Wendy Bell radio program. You know, I could tell how hot people are with this whole tax story, with the money stolen story, because they know it really is just one tip of one spear and that there are a lot of them out there. And if we were to actually consider of the between 40 and 60% of what you and I go to work every day to go and earn and bring home to our families, that 40 to 60% goes away to taxes and that we don't get the benefit. Because we look around in our communities and I'm like, I don't feel more safe. In my city in Pittsburgh, we were told that there are no cops between 3 and 7 a.m. Great time to commit a crime. Perfect time to announce that as a press conference. Morons. Sorry, guys, we don't have the cops. Where the hell does my money go? I guarantee you after the 3 inches of snow we got yesterday in Pittsburgh, my streets aren't going to be plowed ever. What am I paying taxes for? Please, anybody, and the F-bombs and the swearing, the indiscriminate, not so much, swearing that I'm seeing online, this is a small feeling of the pulse of America. It's been used and abused and lied to and propagandized and all this fake news nonsense. And the degree to which the Biden administration tried to screw us even more, giving Stacey freaking Adams billions of dollars in green climate crap for a business that never made money. Make it freaking make sense. I understand the swearing. Brock had to edit this guy about 7 times, maybe 8. He swore so much sitting in his car, but the message, the raw ire, you can taste it. Listen.
Has anybody else started to reach their breaking point or a boiling point? So this is starting to look like a country that I am no longer proud to have served. I've been working my entire adult life, and I have paid half or more than half back to the government in some way, shape, or form in taxes for the past 30 years. And if you don't believe me, look up everything that you have that is taxed. State income tax, federal income tax, property taxes, payroll taxes, Medicare taxes, Medicaid taxes, sales taxes. Everything is taxed. Everything. And we have a political apparatus where half of them say that if you don't keep us in power, we will steal from you so that we can import people that will. So shut up and go back to work. And another side of the aisle won't do anything about it and won't even try to actually represent the people that vote for them. Is anybody else getting to a point where we feel like we cannot vote our way out of this? Where does that leave us? Because nothing is going to happen about the fraud. Nothing. All of the fraud that Elon Musk and Doge exposed, the Republican Congress put it on the back burner and refused to vote on it. Turned around to the American voter that put them in power and extended one of these. It doesn't matter what we do. This situation is completely freaking unsustainable. Totally and completely unsustainable. It's a waste of time to vote, and it's a waste of energy to pay taxes so that we can give it to people that are going to steal from us. And then we can send it to other countries that hate us. And we can send it to people in the European Union that look down their nose at the American worker, go back to work. It's putting us in a helpless situation, and I don't think the people in Washington living in that bubble realize the anger that is fuming outside of the borders of that city. And I am not interested in watching another theatrical congressional hearing where a couple of ballsy Republicans bitch out a corrupt leftist and then nothing happens. Accountability and a tax strike is what needs to happen.
Tax strike. Honestly, think about that. If you could get enough people, say, I don't know, 20 to 30% of the people to say no. No, in fact, I realize when I sit down with my CPA and I cringe, it is the worst part of owning a small business. It is the absolute worst part, dealing with the tax implications. Because if you happen to be successful, they come for you, guns a-blazing. What if we just said no more? I'm not playing anymore. We've turned off our TVs. Many of us stopped drinking Starbucks, stopped watching football, stopped paying attention to people who lie for a living, stopped believing in science, stopped believing in our government, stopped paying taxes. Oh, but you can't do that. I mean, the whole system's based on that. Really? No, the whole system is based on bankrupting our children and grandchildren who aren't even born. I hear that, man. It's not fatigue. It is called fury. When we come back on the Wendy Bell radio program, my friends, my Lord. House Oversight's on the case, is sitting down and talking about the fraud in Minnesota in February. Is that soon enough, or did you want it last week? Let's go there next on the Wendy Bell Radio Network. These responses are tone deaf. James Comer coming out and being like, I'm really happy to announce that we're going to have a House Oversight. We're going to have more interviews. We're going to have more depositions. I don't care. I don't care anymore. I don't care. Healthy Cell. You know what I find is helpful when you're about to lose your ever-loving mind? A little calm mood. Let's see if it zeroes in on it. Calm mood. So when Healthy Cell got in touch with me, and they're like, well, we do supplements. And I'm like, well, there are a lot of supplement people. Like, you're a supplement. Who cares? And they're like, no. So did you know that over the age of 50, the acid in your gut that helps you break down food and what have you kind of changes, whether it's the pH or what have you, you have more difficulty breaking down medicine you take by mouth. So pills and capsules and whatnot. And so there's a good chance that when you're taking a supplement, you're like, oh, I'm going to take my vitamin B12. You end up pooping it out before your body can digest it. Healthy Cell to the rescue. They're like, let's change that. Hi, outside the box thinkers. Okay. So they decided to put all of their supplements, their vitamins, minerals, nutrients, in these gel packs, microgels, and they're delicious. So instead of taking a Xanax and giving money to, I don't know, pharma, you can take Calm Mood instead. What does it have in it? Well, it's got soothing herbal extracts, vitamins, and adaptogens, including ashwagandha, 5-H, I can't even see that. I should have my glasses on. L-theanine for relaxation and occasional stress relief, berry lemon flavor. What if you could just go suck this in and be like, okay, in 20 or 30 minutes, you're like, I feel good. It's pretty good. How about that? What if maybe you're having some brain fog? You ever do that? You walk into a room and you're like, what did I come in here for? Okay, that's every day for me.
Put the tissues in the fridge.
That was Joe. I just found him there. Anyhow, focus and recall. Take it. 30 minutes later, you're like, I can do that. I gave it to my boys to take before they took the SAT. Both of them said they could notice a difference. Both of them said they were sharper focused. Brock takes the REM sleep formula. Have trouble tossing and turning, falling asleep, getting enough sleep. There's something beautiful about the REM sleep from Healthy Cell. Not only do you fall asleep, somehow, no matter how much sleep you get, you wake up and you're like, I feel good. That doesn't happen when you take NyQuil because you can't fall asleep. You wake up and you feel like somebody ran you over with a truck. Healthycell.com/Wendy. This is my company. This is my brand, not my company, but this is the company I trust. This is I use them every single day. This is one of the 3 supplements I take every single day. So good. Blood sugar, blood pressure, cardiovascular health, hair, skin, and nails, immune support. I mean, how many ways? Eye health. There's a Healthy Cell. Healthycell.com/Wendy. If it's your first order, you're going to get 20% off. It's pretty good. So load up your cart. I really had a visceral reaction to Tony Tocopel. I had to walk away from that, Brock. I was very upset.
I'm upset we only have 2.5. 13.8 watching, 1,000 on X.
You know what? We can get 500 people to click it right now. Would you guys do me a favor? A lot of you are like, you know what? I don't understand what you mean when you say, can you rumble? Well, this is your way of voting on us. And if you go right underneath the video box, you'll see a thumbs up and a thumbs down in a bubble. You can choose which one. If you don't like me, hit the thumbs down. I get it. And if you do, you need to hit the thumbs up button. That is the way our show kicks the snot out of other shows because you vote that you like us. And that's interaction is much more important even than the number of people who view us. So we appreciate you helping us with the algorithm. And while you're at it, Scooby over to the left one and hit that button that says follow. We're trying to get to 80,000. It would be great if we could get to 80,000 today.
Yeah, we're going to get close. Can you lean back for a second?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And not move. The camera. Lean way back. There you go. Thank you. We're getting close to 79.6. Oh, we just hit 79.6. Thank you.
400 to go.
Thank you.
400 on this New Year's Day. Who else woke up and toiled through the snow as everybody's waking up still drunk? Who woke up at 2:30 to put together a show for you? We did.
If you guys see the camera, so do I.
Oh.
I'm not going to interrupt her when she's going on a rant to tell her to lean back. So
That's okay. Everybody knows they want to help out. I appreciate it. Preach.
Rich just reached out to me. I told him his wife did to say Happy New Year. I said, hey, warn Rich, we're going to be bothering him a lot this year.
Oh, you mean Barris?
Yes.
Do you see how you tell stories? Does everybody see
you
how
know who I
Brock
was
tells
talking about?
Well, it's cool because you could be talking about Rich McHugh, who's coming up.
Well, I don't know him.
Well,
why would he text me?
They don't know who you're talking about. Just keeping it real.
Keeping it real. Look at you all street.
Some kind of a response from the government, from Jamie Comer, who is the head of House Oversight. I'm grateful that people are paying attention, but you know what? It's how I feel about the Tony DeCopel mea culpa sitting at the set saying, I'm the CBS News evening anchor, and I know that you don't trust us, but I'm going to get your trust back because I'm going to tell you that I work for you, and I hear you. You know what? Okay? That's how I feel about this House Oversight saying it's going to investigate. I'm tired of the hearings. I'm tired of the evidence gathering. We want handcuffs. We want jumpsuits. We want everything that they did to the January Sixers. Who did what, by the way? Oh, that's right. Oh, they went to the Capitol on January 6th, which is their constitutional responsibility and right to ask for the petition of their grievances. They were saying to their leaders, don't certify this election. We've got so much evidence that there was fraud. We were there when we got shooed out of the precinct because of a water main break. We saw the video of the boxes of ballots, all of the ballots of mail-in votes, right? All of the papers pristine, never folded. How do you mail in a ballot without folding it? Well, we're not going to talk about that. This is not enough. House Oversight Committee schedules Minnesota fraud hearing. You guys are missing us. You're not hearing us. This is not enough. And you're going to say, well, it takes time. Bull crap. This has been going on for years. Tim Walz was blown in about this in 2019, and we know demonstrably from whistleblowers that real journalists like Liz Collin from Alpha News in Minnesota has had on her program. Former TSA agent, 2015. I saw suitcases of millions of dollars of cash with Somali men as the couriers coming through Minneapolis St. Paul International Airport. We flagged authorities. They came and looked at it and said, looks good to me. Let them go. Well, what about the suitcase of all the passports? Oh, we called TSA. They came in. Ooh, looks good. Let them go. I'm sorry, Jamie, but your hearing isn't going to be enough to placate a pissed off America. And I'm sorry to be yelling. You probably are hungover. It is New Year's Day after all. But I'm angry and I don't make excuses for that. So apparently House Oversight's going to sit down, asking Governor Walz, give us your documents. What does that matter? When you've got Bill and Hillary freaking Clinton go to House Oversight. Yeah, you know, I know we were supposed to sit down with you last month and talk to you about what we know about Jeffrey Epstein, but we don't really feel like it. Yeah, I don't think so. Our schedule's going to work on that. And they get away with it. Suck it! If you buy a $610 refrigerator, right, and you spend Venmo money on it, what do they want? Well, what did you buy? Where did you buy it? What kind of taxes? Where's our cut? But if there's Bill and Hillary Clinton, you mean bleach it? Like wipe it with a cloth? Stop playing us for fools. The piggy bank has run dry. And we're pissed. Rich McHugh might be a boyfriend. I like this guy. He's not your typical reporter. He just kind of just gives you the information. There's no fluff, no makeup, no bells and whistles, no, wind machine, just facts knocking on doors. And he has been in Minneapolis. Rich McHugh from News Nation says this, and it's a very interesting thing. He says, you know what? There have been 14 social services falling under the welfare fraud that we know the Somalians have stolen from the American taxpayers. We stumbled on a 15th. One that Nick Shirley hasn't found, but I'm sure he'll be on now too. It's called assisted living fraud. Who wouldn't want some Somalian to provide assisted living? Oh, are they actually providing anything? Rich McHugh, number one.
This may look like your typical single-family home, but it bills itself as an assisted living facility, and it receives a lot of taxpayer money. Here in Minnesota, the number of people getting help in assisted living facilities is up, double the growth of other programs. But here's the kicker. The rate of payment in this assisted living space is 10 to 15 times the growth in other programs. Hi. So we pulled the data on assisted living facilities in the Minneapolis area. Minneapolis, as you might expect, has a lot, 169. St. Paul, with a population of 307,000, has 83. But Brooklyn Center, 30,000 population, has 106. And Brooklyn Park, population of 84,000, has 181, more than Minneapolis, a city 5 times its size. But this assisted living facility puts this all in perspective. It's owned by a man indicted for laundering $1 million in the Feeding Our Future scam. He's Gandhi Mohammed, now Gandhi Abdi Kadai, and his LLC owns the homes. His wife runs the assisted living facilities, and the state is continuing to pay as he awaits his trial.
Unbelievable. So a guy indicted for laundering $1 million through the Feeding Our Futures fraud, where they alleged all these hot meals were going out. I'm making 7,000 meals a day, every single day, and I've been doing it for 10 months. You realize that that's 750 meals an hour around the clock, and you're working out of a storefront that's 350 square feet. Well, I swear to you, I am. Oh, okay. Here are your millions. That Feeding Our Futures fraud. This cat has an assisted living home that he's making money on as he's being indicted, charged, and all of his stuff for laundering money through Feeding Our Futures. Are you out of your mind? No, you're just in Minnesota right now. Beautiful. Rich McHugh continues. He's like, how's a convicted felon still getting money from other social services? It's a wonderful question to ask. Let's listen.
These assisted living facilities received over $2.3 million in state money last year alone. A Minnesota Reformer article says he has been paid a whopping $49 million since 2016.
How is it possible that this person who's been indicted in Feeding Our Future also is still collecting checks from the state, running these assisted living centers with his wife?
I honestly have no idea. It seems like the most basic due diligence would have been to run a check of all the people indicted in Feeding Our Future and then make sure they're not getting paid from other state programs. And at least in this case, and I've heard perhaps in others, they didn't do that.
State Representative Kristen Robbins is the chair of the House Fraud and Oversight Committee here.
So this person owns assisted living facilities, and his wife runs the service provider part of it. So he owns the property. One of the properties was purchased with the same shell company he used to money launder in Feeding Our Future. And now that same shell company has been used to buy a new assisted living facility property. It's unconscionable that they haven't done the most basic due diligence to cross-check that Feeding Our Future defendants aren't getting additional state money.
If you're a Black American in California and you're all hot for reparations because there's no way for you to survive the way the system is, and you think the system is rigged against you, and historically you are owed something, do know that you would never utter the word reparation if you weren't getting boned every which way every single day of your life. This could be the big unifier, the uniter, the real melting pot creator. Everybody getting together and pushing back. Amazing. Rich McHugh continues. He says, look, I'm going to be outside a couple buildings now. We're going to tell you how ridiculous this fraud is. We're going to go inside and I'll tell you what I found. Lots of businesses with doors and nameplates on them, but no actual business behind them. Huh. It's so odd, isn't it?
This building right behind me has 22 different home and community-based healthcare companies registered in the building. It's only 4 floors. I walked in there yesterday trying to find a number of them. Many of them are appear to be just window fronts, door fronts, with nobody behind. So same story, different location. We're here in St. Paul at this building, which looks like a warehouse or a dilapidated old building. Inside this building, there are 60 registered home and community health care organizations inside this one building. We're here in Northeast Minneapolis, and we're at a building that I believe is on the radar of authorities. They have questions about it. A lot of the businesses in here are home health care businesses. Of the total businesses, there's 37. 17 of them are home health care businesses. There's just layer upon layer upon layer of fraud throughout this city, Jessica. As for whether Governor Walz is going to testify before the Oversight Committee, that remains to be seen. We asked him at his office if he was going to testify, and we have yet to hear back.
Why the hell wouldn't he? Oh, I don't know, because Hillary and Bill don't have to. Tony Fauci doesn't get brought up on perjury charges, right? There's no restitution. There's no end to that story, right? Why do we do the right thing? Why do you and I go work so hard? Why do we always try to be good people? Where's the payout? Where's the bonus? Where's the benefit? Where's the end game? Because all they do is spend more. Did you hear this? Rhino, Ohio Governor Mike DeWine's office is dismissing daycare fraud allegations in his state as, quote, the cost of doing business. Well, it's just the way things go. Yes, a percentage is going to go to fraud. Oh, it's just kind of baked into standard operating procedure. Hey, Mike, first, you suck. 2, that's wholly unacceptable. Ohio Governor Mike DeWine's office has brushed off growing concerns about potential massive fraud in taxpayer-funded daycare centers, particularly in Columbus, which boasts what? That's right. The second largest Somali population in the United States, as simply the cost of doing business. Really, Mike? The governor's office said that attempts to use daycare centers for fraud in Ohio have been, quote, known to the state for decades. Really? He implied that those who did not think it was an issue are naive. You're stupid for not knowing. They haven't fought for you. They haven't stopped it. But you're dumb for not knowing. Speaking to the Columbus Dispatch, DeWine's spokesman, Dan Tierney, denied any recent surge in fraud, but acknowledged that the governor's office is aware of public interest in the matter. If people are out there who could not contemplate that people were trying to defraud the public through daycare centers, I understand it's new to them, but it's been known to the state for decades. So therefore, we have robust anti-fraud measures to try and stop this. It's something that is unfortunately the cost of doing business. Is that good enough for you? Oh, it's just the way it's always been. Well, that's just the way it has. Yeah, it's, you know what? I'm sure it'll all work out. You want to go have a drink? You know who says no? Nick Shirley and hundreds of millions of beleaguered and pissed off taxpayers. When we come back on the Wendy Bell radio program, the Nick Shirley video that has more than 650,000 likes. Oh my, you'll see why next on the Wendy Bell Radio Network. Yeah, it happens. What happens? Why?
Why do we have to pay for the cost of
Why?
doing business?
Why? Oh, and then we're going to have DEI, right? I think this is a great idea. We're going to bring in people who aren't necessarily terrifically strong in their chosen fields, but because they're black or gay or they have ovaries or what have you, we're going to put them in positions where they can do less than nothing. We're going to put them in positions where they fail, but they are unimpeachable because everybody's worried about the woke garbage. How do you think you got Karine Jean-Pierre? An abject moron. Right? Well, she's gay. She's black. She's a chick. She's an immigrant. I mean, if they gave her a lisp, you'd have 5 out of 5. Don't talk about it. Racist. Homophobe. Right? Nationalist. MAGA. It's ridiculous. What's not is what you can lose. You go to Morgane's Fitness. Morgane's Fitness. I think this one, I have a new favorite. I know. I dilly-dally on this one, but this is, look at this woman. Before, after. That's, look at this. Before, after. That's 90 days. 90 days. This lady lost like 40 pounds, 15 pounds of fat. How do you do that? Well, you need to have a pro on your side, and our pro is named Kelly Morgan. She's a veteran. She's a mom. She's an entrepreneur. She's a professional bodybuilder. She's been heavy in her life. She loves alcohol and sweets and all the bad food. She knows that you need to do things in moderation, and she knows how to lose weight and get you firm. Morgane's Fitness, MORGAINZ Fitness.com. Online, she has a program you can do remotely called 90 Ignite. You give her 3 months, she gives you your body back. That's what this is from, the before and after. This is 8 months. Look at that. That's crazy. Hello. Morganesfitness.com. It's like it works. I'm super fussy today. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry.
Who's sick of hearing people on Twitter and X saying, this takes time. You got to really make the case. No, you don't. Here's the case. They've known it's been going on for 10 years. Government has known it's been going on for 10 years. What case? You obviously have the information. And don't get me with the liberal judge. Just keep filing. Let the liberal judges do the liberal judges thing, and you keep taking it to Supreme Court.
Until there is rampant, widespread outcry, it's not going to change.
Do what they do.
Not going to change.
Overload them. So not they're going to have to figure out which one they're going to want to.
It's like whack-a-mole.
Yeah.
3,000. Thank you. 14-7 watching live. Hey, if you would
hit that follow button.
Follow us right next to the red button underneath me. There's a white button. Hit that, please. We'd love to get to 70 or 80,000 followers on New Year's Day of all days. Would mean that we probably gained 1,500 followers in 3 days. 4,000 in Instagram we got yesterday. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's not Nick Shirley's page fit crazy. He got 100,000 Twitter followers in a day. Good for him. Damn straight. I hope God protects that young man. For you, I want to remind you that it was back in March as the knives were coming out for Elon Musk because, damn him, he and his Department of Government Efficiency landed over the mark. They settled in at the Treasury. They started going through the records. Interesting how the left turned on him on a dime, but it wasn't just the left. Because the cretins in Congress you really got to be worried about are Republicans. Those are the ones who are particularly slimy. Now, some of these people who voted down Rand Paul's bill that would codify the Doge cuts into law and it would permanently restrict funding to USAID and other nonsense. It would permanently unfund, defund NPR and those people, PBS, right? 26 Senate Republicans threw in the towel on that fight and said, no, I can't possibly do that. We can't possibly codify this into law. Cuts, saving American taxpayers money. The Republicans said freaking no. Why? Why, Lindsey Graham, you hack? Away with you. Why? Barrasso, Boozman, Capito, Cassidy, Collins, Kramer, Crapo, Fisher, Grassley, Hoven, Hyde, Smith, Langford, McConnell, and McCormick. Why? Moran, Mullen, Murkowski, Ricketts, Round, Scott, Sullivan, Thune, Tillis, Wicker, and Young, your Senate freaking majority leader voted against codifying Doge cuts into law. Is it any wonder why we can't get all of our appointments across the finish line with John Thune in charge of the freaking Senate? Snake. Slithery snake. Listen to the calls of the people past the filibuster. Blow it up! I mean, go do it now. Won't happen. I want you to hear this. Nick Shirley's video that has more than 650,000 likes. It is huge as a black man shows up next to Nick on the street as he's in downtown Minneapolis, I presume, and he just starts talking. And you'd think, oh, this guy's angry. No, he's not. He's on his side. Black and white unite. Amazing.
I saw you about to throw down here in the middle of the street. Hey, man, listen. These people hate our country. They hate everything we stand for. We have to oppose them everywhere they go, all right? Black or white. If you're a Christian in this country, these people hate your way of life. They oppose your existence. We can no longer allow this. They come over here with their Ford Fusions. Go back to your country, all right?
Go back to Somalia.
Bye-bye.
Go back.
You think any of this is fear-mongering from the right? No, it's necessary. You know, it's not fear-mongering. We need to do this because we're looking what's happening across the pond in Europe, in Berlin, and France, all over, and London. Do we want to be like that? No. And black people, guess what? This country that you live in, you benefit from it. You should stand with your Christian brothers. Stand with our white brothers and sisters. This is our country that we've built together. We lose it, we have nothing. We lose this land, there's nothing else. You're not going to go to Africa and survive. You're not going to go to the Middle East and survive. Guess what? America was built by Christians. White people conquered the land. Black people benefit from it. We have to stand up for it. That's important.
Oh, I don't think they banked on that. What? Black people and white people working together? It's scandalous. Well, how about this story that I'm sure Tony DeCopel over at CBS, after telling you, I work for you, don't leave me, I love you, I promise I'll stop lying to you. $5 billion in questionable rental assistance under Joe Biden revealed, including the thousands of dead tenants and non-citizens. Really? Headline from the New York Post today, ladies and gentlemen. A U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development report found more than $5 billion with a B in taxpayer funds went to questionable rental assistance recipients during the final year of the Biden administration, including around 30,000 dead tenants and thousands of potential non-citizens. HUD officials said a large concentration of the suspicious payments went to New York, California, and Washington, D.C. Shut up. That's so weird. With dead recipients getting at least some funds in all 50 states in what federal officials are calling widespread abuse of taxpayer dollars under the Biden administration. So my question to you is this: what's worse? A Democrat party that spends, thieves, personally enriches themselves, and lies to you to your face every damn day? Or a Republican Party who pretends to not know about it or to not be a part of it? You know how I feel. When we come back, hour number 3 of the Wendy Bell radio program. A man taught at Harvard for 40 years, beloved history professor. Why are you leaving, sir? And you're going to the University of Florida? Like, why? Oh, my. the torch resignation letter. Egg on everybody's face at Harvard. Don't miss this story next on the Wendy Bell Radio Network. I thought we were just going to have a benign. It's Brock's fault.
What?
It's your fault.
How's it my fault?
Oh my God, you're giggling about it. You're giggling that I am hot. You're the one who dangled Tony DeCopel in my inbox. You're the one
I'm
who played
doing
that.
my job.
Oh my God, I'm so angry.
I'm doing my job.
Tell them about what you think about bodybyAIM360.com. This
The
is
simple answer. It works. It works. I lost 70 pounds. I was a fatty Bobalatti, still am, but it lost 70 pounds and it changed my life. No more inflammation. No more feeling like crap. I never knew how bad I felt until I lost the weight. It changed my life, period. And the IVs, I just, how I feel about the IVs.
So bodybyAIM360.com is a website many of you who are watching us for the first time are hearing about for the first time. But please, if you have something nearby to write it down with, do bodybyAIM. That stands for Advanced Integrative Medical. BodybyAIM360.com. There is a tried and true, well-tested, successful weight loss journey that's more than just how much you weigh. It's about your testosterone, if you're a man.
I had low T.
You had low T, probably higher levels of cortisol and other things that aren't beneficial to you. If you have problems sleeping, you have problems losing weight, you have problems with allergies, you just don't feel like yourself. And you're like, you know what? I feel too young to be this damn old. That's when you go to bodybyAIM360.com and you say, can you help me? And you're like, but wait a minute, that's in Pittsburgh, 412-227-9255. You're right, but he can help you where you live. That's why we talk about Dr. Dubiak and bodybyAIM360.com. Brock is alluding to these IVs. If you're lucky enough to live in the area in Pittsburgh and around, they give you right into your bloodstream the supplements and the nutrients that you're lacking to help your body lose the weight. And then you get on the program. You learn how to eat. You learn what works, what doesn't. And so what you end with is not only a lot less weight, you have like the key to the test. You've got the cheat sheet for life. For life. You know what works for you, and it doesn't change, which is beautiful. So find out, 412-227-9255, bodybyAIM360.com.
Let me say why I can put stuff up there that gets Wendy hot and bothered. Because I'm pissed off just about the same things you are. I'm doing what Tony DeCoppola isn't doing.
DeCoppola.
Or whatever his name is. I'm horrible at names. I'm pissed off about the. We say this all the time.
100%.
It's not the stories they're telling you about. It's the stories they're not telling you about. It's our job, just like it's yours, to follow along and find out what they're not telling us and be pissed off about it.
So, and for those of you who are new,
You
back
need to
in
read some
the day when COVID was going on and they were rolling out these $1 trillion packages under the guise of it's going to make everybody safer. And we're like, it's going to bankrupt our grandchildren that I don't have yet, right? We asked our local congressman, his name is Guy Reschenthaler, he's a 0 too, sorry. And we asked his office, can we please have the bill? And so they sent us like the cover sheet, you know, the splash points. It was like 3 pages. And I was like, no, I want the whole thing. And they were like, it's like 900 pages. And I was like, send it. And we printed it at our old station before I got fired. And then he left and then he got fired. And we read it. He took half and I took half. And literally that day, we finished the show. And that day, we both sat down with highlighters and we made a list of the most egregious, have nothing to do with sickness, disease, protection, or otherwise, all this mumbo jumbo. right? Like 40 billion to the indigenous people, 30 billion for this wastewater treatment plant. You're like, what does that have to do with COVID? Right? And we exposed it all. We did more as talk radio host and producer than anybody in the media. And I got fired.
Hey, go to the top of your chat.
Oh.
People are giving you money.
Oh, what? You should totally give me money.
Doggy for sure. Look, $50. Looked up Somali guy here in Ohio that ran for House Rep but lost. He listed as owning or involved in Somali Learning Center.
Yes, we just talked about it. Follow Nick Shirley's Rumble channel before YouTube can cancel him. Brave young man. We need to support him. Wendy rocks. Thank you, Grenade 1313. $100. That is a big commitment.
Hick from Texas, $50. If Doggy for sure can honor your rant, so can I. I'm so glad you're working on the first of the year and set the tone for the maddest.
For me, yeah, mad as a heck. See my latest Rumble. Okay, thank you. Hick from Texas. Let's see. I will follow you. I will follow you. Enough, guys. Enough. Look, I can't hide it. I can't hide it. So, I don't have time to tell you this story.
No, but you do have time to say, hit that Rumble button.
I would love for you guys to follow us. Give me a total on how many followers we have.
We're at 79,712. So 79,000.
We need 300 people to hit the follow button. Nothing happens to you.
We just tell you when we're live.
You get a notification on your phone. It goes, Wendy Bell Radio is live. And then you also get one on Saturdays at 10 when he gets to sit down with world-renowned veterinarian Dr. Mike Hutchinson and give you free pet advice. It's phenomenal. And then Sundays, we do Weekends with Wendy. I wear a tiara and no makeup. It's worth it. I don't know if it is or not, but people show up for it. And then you get a notification on that too. That's if you hit that follow button next to the Army button. Army button is how you get the rundown if you want the whole show. That's going to cost you $4 million. Sorry. I'm worth it.
$4 million.
This story about this guy.
Here we go.
Oh my.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wendy Bell, America's anchor mom, fighting for America 1 hour at a time. Welcome to the family. She once hosted a 3-hour show in just 15 minutes. She once intimidated the Electoral College to audit itself. Her monologues are so sharp, they're considered a concealed carry weapon. Fact-checker sites routinely issue her a retraction a week in advance. Even her commercial breaks trend on social media. Her freedom of speech has diplomatic immunity. She doesn't just drain the swamp has to ask for cab fare. Wendy Bell is the most interesting conservative woman on radio. Keep rumbling, my friends. 3 hours of bold truth and excellence. You've just signed up for the WBR Army. Strap in. This is the Wendy Bell radio program.
Welcome back. Hour number 3 of the Wendy Bell radio program is live. Happy New Year's Day, America. It is an honor to work on this holiday, for the opportunity to connect with you, to be able to say to you, I don't lie to you. I will always tell you the truth. That is the bond between you and me. You show up, I don't lie. Is it fascinating to anybody else out there that Nick Shirley's video expose that has blown up the internet and pissed off millions of Americans, exposing so much, happened in the same city, Minneapolis, as the beginning of the George Floyd mumbo jumbo, all of the woke nonsense, the Black Lives Matter, bow at the altar of political correctness, the sanctimonious do-goodery of liberal idiocy. Same zip code. Full circle. Is anybody else surprised by that? Exposed so much, didn't it? We've been through so much. We watched so many people literally lose their ever-loving minds. People in our own families, friends of ours, and we're like, look, I love you and I wish you the best, but you're a toxic nutbag. Can't deal with you anymore. Sorry. Right? Well, here's a Harvard professor who's saying, you know what? You guys think you have experienced woke crazy? I'm in the nucleus of it. Here's your headline from the New York Post, a fascinating reason why a tenured professor, beloved 40-year professor of history, would just walk away from Harvard, like the pinnacle of all pinnacles, until it wasn't, because it started to suck, right? Why is this guy leaving? And why is he explaining in his resignation letter what happened to Harvard? Well, let's read. Harvard professor torches Ivy League school over woke, anti-white, anti-male culture in a blistering essay. I admit out of the gates here, I am a mom of 5 sons, ages 17 to 25. This one hits home. A professor who spent 40 years teaching at Harvard University torched the Ivy League institution over its exclusion of white males in a searing essay announcing his retirement. In the piece titled, "Why Am I Leaving Harvard?" or "Why I'm Leaving Harvard," history professor James Hankins said his decision to retire was not a sudden one. It was made back in 2021 after 2 volatile years on campus, marked by the COVID-19 pandemic lockdown and George Floyd riots, the latter of which, he said, dramatically changed the school's graduate admissions process. I watched my sons get squeezed by the same woke bullcrap. In reviewing graduate school applicants in the fall of 2020, he writes, I came across an outstanding prospect who was a perfect fit for our program. In years past, this candidate would have risen immediately to the top of the applicant pool. In 2021, however, I was told informally by a member of this admissions committee, that meaning admitting a white male, was not happening this year, he said in the essay published in Compact magazine. The professor said in another instance, a white male student he described as literally the best at Harvard, who won the prize for the graduating senior with the best overall academic record, was also rejected from all of the school's graduate programs to which he applied. He too was a white male, Hankins wrote. I called around to friends at several universities to find out why on earth he had been rejected. Everywhere it was the same story. Graduate admissions committee around the country had been following the same unspoken protocol as ours. The one exception I found to the general exclusion of white males had begun life as a female. Oh, they let a tranny in, but no white dudes. Interesting. Hankins' last lecture at this school, at this storied institution, was 2 weeks ago, after he honored a 4-year retirement contract he signed in 2021 that finally expired. Oh, the guy who does the right thing. A Harvard spokesperson told Fox News that graduate admissions are faculty-led and department level. Hankins said his decision to retire also had to do with the university's tyrannous invasions of private life with its COVID-19 restrictions. Professors were forced to lecture in masks and give seminars on Zoom, neither of which accorded with my idea of liberal education. Hankins, who's now a visiting professor at the University of Florida, added that he was upset to see the academic rigor that made the university so renowned slip due to wokeness, including the 2-book standard. What's that? Well, the 2-book standard meant that staff were expected to have published 2 books proving their expertise in a subject area. He blamed feminist activists for pushing to drop the guideline. The 2-book standard would be shelved in the late 1990s when we were under increasing pressure to hire more women faculty, he wrote. Feminist activists at Harvard as elsewhere were demanding that half of all new appointments be women. That, they claimed, was what liberal standards of equality required. Scourge of our society, the liberal chick. Women, that was my phrase, not his. Women previously made up less than 10% of PhDs in history, he noted, but equally required that standards be lowered. Feminists denied vociferously that this was happening, he insisted. The real problem, they said, was the inability of men properly to value female scholarship, wrote Hankins. He claimed he and those who opposed the new order were declared sexists. Soon, the department was promoting an ever higher percentage of junior faculty, he wrote. The dynamic was similar to Congress voting to restrain its own spending. The new promoted staff were left-leaning, and Hankins said that countervailing winds at the university ushered in an institutional globalization, including more foreign students, and the continued dwindling of Western history courses in favor of global history. Hankins believes he's seen the end of Ivy Plus universities as they were known. For now, a better hope lies in building new institutions, unencumbered by the corruption and the self-hatred that infect the old. This is cataclysmic. This is giant. This ties into what we played in hour number 1, or was it 2, where we had CBS News anchor Tony DeCopel sitting down and looking at you through the lens of that TV camera. Kneecap to kneecap. I'm talking to you, America. I understand you. I am you. I'm not a multi-million-dollar paid anchor who sits here to talk about what the parent company wants me to. No, sirree. I report to you. Higher education is ruined. Institutions like Harvard, who brought us Claudine Gay, the plagiarizing black female president, when they shuffled her along into a highly paid position but didn't fire her. Really? Really? Are we surprised? They tried to tell us we got a plagiarist as president. The guy who couldn't win back in the 80s because it turned out that Joe Biden had plagiarized most of his college career. Oops. All of a sudden, we all supposedly forgot about that in 2020, didn't we? And we voted down all of the lowest unemployment rates for women and Hispanics and blacks on record. We voted against closing the border, bringing down prices, reinstituting common sense into policies, right? We couldn't handle any more of Donald Trump. It was crazy. We needed Joe Biden with those dazzling ideas and his wonderful ability to enunciate his passion, his love of country, his policy. Oh, please. It's not just fraud fatigue. It's just damn right fatigue that the American people feel. I'm right there with you. Every day before the sun rises, I sit down in an ocean of garbage and cherry pick the ones that are the most egregious to hopefully ring a bell with people out there who haven't really been paying attention. This stuff has to stop. We need qualified people, the best and the brightest, not black people or gay people or women, the best, irrespective of personal characteristics. Only then do you actually get a government that represents its people. Only then does the fraud get carved out. Only then does actual change happen. Am I holding my breath? Maybe. I have 5 Generation Z sons, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very excited about what they're going to do for us. When we come back on the Wendy Bell radio program, you remember Cassidy Hutchinson? She was the January 6th committee star witness. She saw the president lunge for the steering wheel. Take me to the Capitol. I must go there, she said, until she retracted that a couple months later. Oh, well, Jack Smith just said something kind of interesting about her. Oh, boy. Next on the Wendy Bell Radio Network. I have a very interesting perspective in the whole college application process, right? My sons, Jack and Ryan, got squeezed in that. Jack graduated high school in 2020. Ryan graduated in 24, right? 23, 24, 2020, I don't know, whatever. Anyhow, all of the COVID stuff. Jack left Boston College because they were so freaking out of touch. They sent Jack's roommate at Boston College, freshman year in the height of COVID, right? Was in another dorm room with, I guess, 5 or 6 other kids, which was strictly prohibited. Not allowed to be together. Have to be separate. Have to be like, have to be like the snow leopard at the zoo. And so they bounced him, kicked him out of school, sent him back home to California. Jack sat in his room alone until the day he called me and said, I can't do it anymore. And I was like, it's wheels up. I'm on my way. I watched as my son Ryan, I think he had like a 1480 on the SAT. Guy's on a mission trips, right? He's a Eucharistic minister.
He's everything a college would typically
part of the
want.
LaSallian ministry program at school. A good human being. A weighted GPA that's just stupid, right? And just a good man. Nope. Got denied everywhere. That he really, the pie in the sky stuff, that shouldn't have been pie in the sky.
Mm-mm.
Notre Dame better watch out. Notre Dame better watch out. My boys go to a very high quality, all boys Catholic high school. It is college prep and not zero boys from that school. I think last year and this year have gotten accepted to Notre Dame, including the valedictorian who probably got a 1600 on the SAT. What more are you looking for? Am I too white, too male, too straight, too Catholic? Is that what it is? Notre Dame can suck it. I don't care. I'm glad they didn't get in. I wouldn't want them to go. And I know Chris would have been really excited to go. I'm glad they didn't get in. All right, what haven't I spoken about? Disinfectwithsniper.com. Sniper is going to change the way you think about cleaning. It is mild enough to wash your hands in. It is powerful enough to kill tough pathogens, including MRSA and the viruses that cause flu and COVID-19. All right, it's designed for use in hospitals, cleaning toys, nurseries, pet areas, kitchens, and bathrooms. It's going to eliminate associated smells, too. It's going to keep surfaces from harboring bacteria, fungi, and viruses by disinfecting with Sniper. That's what it is. This is what it is. It is one all-purpose cleaner that's safe for you and your family. You can spray it in your mouth and nothing bad will happen to you, and it'll make your life so much better. Free shipping for you, disinfectwithsniper.com. You will never want anything else. Just going to tell you. If I talk about it on this program, it's because it works. This works. Hook, line, and sinker. Not going to tell you more about it. Disinfectwithsniper.com. Do yourself a favor. Start the new year clean. It's phenomenal. Phenomenal.
I just spoke with Dr. Mike.
Oh, yes.
There will be a show
Nice.
Saturday.
So again,
So join us.
if you want to know when he's on talking with a world-renowned veterinarian, a guy who does amazing things with stem cells, right? A guy who gives you literally an hour and a half of free veterinary advice. I tell you, I got sucked into 30 minutes when he was talking about porcupines.
Well, only 30 minutes. Wow.
I was like, I couldn't get enough.
Thanks for joining.
I couldn't get enough. Click the follow button. That's how it happens. We are point whoring. I'm sorry.
And Rumble.
I kind of wish I was that personality that was sort of an I told you soer, right? I don't like people like that. I think it's really off-putting. And I think when you know you are correct and it comes out later that you're correct, so saying and gloating about it just makes you feel like you were almost a little uncertain to begin with. And you're like, woo, thank God I was right about that one. When you know you're right, there's no like, woo. It's almost disappointing. I don't want to be right. I don't want to be right. I didn't want to be right about COVID. And we got a big story coming up in the next half hour. Please don't miss it. Because I guarantee you, Tony DeCopel over at CBS, who now works for you and answers to you, ain't going to be talking about it. I will. Cassidy Hutchinson. This woman was brought in as like the angel of the January 6th committee, right? She wore that white suit, and there's that picture of her with her hand up and her shoulders head back, and she was like, oh, I'm going to tell the truth about what I saw President Trump do. Well, you were nowhere near President Trump when you said he lunged for the steering wheel of his limousine and demanded to be sent to the Capitol. Remember when they were like, he was so angry, Trump was so angry, he threw his food against the wall and swore. Like, that's so not any vibe I get on Donald Trump, right? I've met the man once. He's been on this program. He invited Brock and me to a rally. We had a great pleasure meeting him. Shaking his hand, right? Oh, with the Jack Smith, right? Scumbag, who's been testifying before House Oversight last week or a couple weeks ago, came forward. He's like, yeah, well, you know what? It's interesting. Cassidy Hutchinson's testimony, it really wasn't all that admissible. It was all based on hearsay. Wait, what? What are you talking about? This is the woman who they trotted out, who Liz Cheney coached, because that's not actionable. This is the woman who came out and tried to put the nail in the president's coffin to create this storyline that President Trump had created an insurrection. He had planted the seeds of a festering riot, and he encouraged people to go take it over, fight. No, that's not what he said. That's how 60 Minutes edited him, right? That's how the BBC edited him, but that's not what he said. Cassidy Hutchinson was chosen to spread a story of garbage, and she did. She lied multiple times. She said she had written a note that she hadn't written. She had said, as Mark Meadows, chief of staff, Mark Meadows, chief biatch, that she, knew all this and that. Jackson had said to James Comer in House Oversight, yeah, we really couldn't do much with that testimony because it was all kind of garbage. Is that why you mean Cassidy Hutchinson went back several months later and changed her testimony? Shh. We don't want to cover that. We'll put it out there in some January 6th primetime special. Cue the wind machine. Where's the makeup artist? Get the, ABC News producer director guy to come in and put on this theatrical performance. High School Musical. It was an insurrection. Yeah, but it really wasn't. Is that why Cassidy Hutchinson, who most people have never really even heard from, right, is all of a sudden a New York Times bestselling author? Brock, I know you're shocked, my man. I know you're shocked because you raced out just like millions of other people. What did that woman write? I have to have that book, right? This is how it works when the Democrats are desperate. So they stole an election. January 6th was to cover it. Right? The January 6th committee was to create the narrative, to sit with you that Trump and MAGA are extremists. They are a threat to democracy. Did you see what they did? They walked into the Capitol and they took pictures. Oh my God. Right? Meantime, Minneapolis burning. Mostly peaceful protests. Building on fire. $2 billion worth of damage. How many people got killed? How many people? Right? Shh, we're not going to talk about that. Whoever said protests have to be peaceful, said Chris Cuomo, as he got bounced to now promise you he understands you just like Tony DeCopel understands you. Interesting. So this from legalinsurrection.com. Jack Smith admits star January 6th witness relied on hearsay. Did that stop the committee from putting her out there front and center? No. It's all a show. The greatest show on earth. And if it's true that there is a sucker born every minute, don't you want to make sure it's not you? Asked during this deposition, Jack Smith dropped a bomb. Asked during the deposition how he would have approached cross-examining Cassidy Hutchinson, Smith said he would have moved to prohibit a portion of her testimony from being used. If I were a defense attorney, he said, and Ms. Hutchinson were a witness, the first thing I would do was seek to preclude some of her testimony because it was hearsay. And I don't have the full range of her testimony in front of me right now, but I do remember that it was a decent part of it. Is that why she went back and made 15 pages of changes to her testimony, completely changing everything that it was about? Shh. I'm sure Tony DeCopel's reporting on that too, don't you think? Stroke. Big problems with stroke, you guys, after the jab. How big a problem? How about a 112,000% increase? But I don't know. Might be a problem. We're going to talk about it next on the Wendy Bell Radio Network. It's funny too, because we were like, it's so interesting how they've her colors, right? What she's wearing, what she's saying, how the committee members are like, oh, tell us what happened. Are you okay? And we're like, see, we were watching January 6th when everybody was calling it an insurrection. We'd never really heard that word before. And we're like, I don't know. That just doesn't sound right. I don't know. Does it really feel insurrection-y to you guys? Insurrection.
Yeah, because usually during George Floyd, they were praying a lot with the cops.
Is that when they had the kente cloths?
Yeah.
Oh. Is that when everybody was falling down to give to Black Lives Matter? How'd that work for y'all? That work out? Great. All right, who else am I forgetting, Brock? I feel like I am.
Well, if you want to keep a roof over your head.
Ireland
You can't forget
contracting.
about that.
That's really smart for you to think about that. Ireland contracting. I like getting people to my house, even when it's off season. I just want to get on your docket, right? Just put me on your radar. So I know that it's going to be a while before the snow thaws and we have spring and we can do landscape lights and whatnot. But come out to my house and let's talk about where they would go. And you could do that in the snow. You can look and see that in the snow. And you can talk to Dan Ireland, 1-800-NEW-ROOF, IrelandContracting.com. You could have them come out to your house and give you an estimate on new windows. You can probably not get an estimate on roofing right now just because it snowed, but siding for sure. They can take measurements. They can show you all of these samples that you can choose from. You're thinking about your soffit and fascia, not sexy, necessary to be done right. You can talk to them about that. 1-800-NEW-ROOF. Home exterior renovation experts in Southwestern Pennsylvania. Ireland Contracting. Brock and I are friends with the owners, Gary and Diane. They're honest.
And fun.
They're not going to rip you off. They are fun. At a party, they're like the last people to leave, right? At a party, I'm the first person to dance and the last person to stop. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean? You don't know how I dance? I have not danced near you.
You were.
I don't want to know what you're going to say, so you can just shush it.
Let me say, when the bar tab came, you were nowhere near the bar tab and you were dancing.
Well, that was tequila. There's a difference.
That was multiple.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about.
No.
Anywho, how's everybody?
If you know, you know. I'm going to go to the bathroom. Okay. Hey, can we get another one? And then you can cash them out.
$240 later.
How much?
$240?
No.
What was it?
Well,
yeah, after
it was
tip.
$192 the second one, and the first one was $30.
Oh, I'm sorry. $230 then, or $220.
But I don't want to give out fake news, and then you complain about fake news.
Anywho, how's everybody out there? 10,000. Always great to be with you. I'm glad you're here. Let's see what's going on here. 3-5 almost. We're at 3-5. Thank you. The Rumble button. Yes, we love that. Huh?
I have 348.
Well, I'm rounding up. How many follows do we have now?
There's no promo code for the sniper. You put it in your card, it's free shipping.
Yes.
He's taken on Amazon.
It is the best. It is the best. I'm just going to say. I used it this morning in my powder room. The thing that's great about it is you spray sniper all over the place. Then you walk away, right? and you let it do its thing. And then I take a wet, clean sponge and I just wipe it up. It dries, but it works after it dries. And you just wipe it up, clean it up, and then everything is clean and it smells
clean,
good again. And you're like, I like that.
So Wendy isn't a chair dancer. I wouldn't really call what Wendy does dancing, so to speak. It's more like just jumping around.
It was a Penguin game. There was a song. Like, there was a beat. I was going to the beat.
Okay, what's the matter if it's a Penguin game or a wedding? The song is the song, and you're jumping around. It's not like they scored and you were jumping around.
They did score. That's why I was jumping around.
That was the different game.
Don't even try it. Stop it. I'm not talking to you anymore. Whatever. You know what? And this all happened because I gave him really good club level seats for his birthday to go to the Penguin game. And he couldn't get anybody to go with him. So I was the sucker who had to go. I'm like, I don't want to go with you to the Penguin game. And he's like, I don't have anybody else. And I'm like, oh, great. Sloppy eighths. That's what I was.
I didn't
so
get
damn right I freaking ran up the bill. Let's go. Wow. I spent $600 for these tickets. That's not even how much they were, if we're going to keep score.
Who was keeping score?
I don't know. You were just telling me it was $190 and the first one
No,
was
you said it was
$250.
$250.
See, Danae loves dancing. I didn't tell you I could dance well.
No, you didn't.
I can tell you I will dance anywhere, anytime, and not give a crap. To the point where my head is wet. Yeah. There you go.
I'm sure that'll be my last Pens game.
I'm not going with you to another one. I don't need to hear. Familiar with me would not know that I have a weekend program on Newsmax television called Common Sense. Now, the time of the show kind of bounces around. I don't really know what's going to happen because I know the network is changing its lineup and changing what it's doing, and I could get lost on the cutting room floor, and that is what it is. But I care about this show. I have hosts, guests who join me, a panel every single week. And they're all talk radio hosts like I am. So we go all over the country. I get people from the left coast, from the Northeast, all the way down to Florida and Texas, and it's always a great conversation. The last segment is probably only about 4 minutes long, and it's sort of a closing monologue. Well, it's not sort of, it's exactly what it is. And it's in this closing monologue that I get to say, usually without a whole lot of production around me, what I think is going on or something that's important to me that I get to share with the viewer. And so I wrote my script over the weekend and early this week. And the closing segment I wrote, and I spent a lot of time on it, and I hated it. And I was in a very bad mood about it. It's a moment for me to connect with people and to share something that I believe is authentic. It should all be authentic. And so yesterday I got home from this show and I scratched everything I'd written and I started fresh. And I started with North is Still North from Clarence Thomas. You could be in the middle of a thunderstorm, right? You could be on a calm day. North is still north. People can yell at you. You can stand by yourself. North is still north. It doesn't change fundamental things. Right is right. Right? But I'm not so sure anymore. I'm not so sure anymore. And that's one of the hazards of being aware. It's so easy when you're not plugged in, right? It's so easy when you're on autopilot, almost like you've been hibernating. You can come out of the woods dazed and confused and not know what's going on. It's a lot easier than knowing every single day and being aware of it. We're aware of it. I'm aware of it. I'm very angry over COVID. I'm very angry that Tony Fauci walks freely. That the man who made millions of dollars and was elevated to some ridiculous level is allowed to walk freely after lying to us. Lying not just to us every night on the coronavirus task force, right? But lying under oath. It's despicable. I'm very angry that our tax dollars went to fund barbaric, Frankensteinian, ridiculous research. Evil. And that it was commissioned with the Chinese, communist Chinese, because that makes sense, right? That we paid for a virus to be tinkered with to be made more lethal. And then we got punished when it was released on the world. And I'm angry that all of the common sense ways that you and I know how to protect ourselves, how to make good decisions, we were told we were wrong and selfish. Joe Biden told us, the unvaccinated, it's going to be a cold, hard winter of darkness and death for you. I mean, imagine that. As they told everybody the vaccines were safe, they knew they weren't safe. Do you think Tony DeCopel has ever spoken about that on the CBS Evening News? I bet not. We had people on this program from the very beginning who were noticing things that weren't adding up. One of them was named Richard Hirschman. He was an embalmer, a guy hired by funeral homes to drain the fluid out of dead people's bodies so they could be preserved for viewing and what have you. And I noticed him online as he put pictures up of these sinuous blobs that he was finding as he was draining people's bodies of blood, clots. And I had him on the show. And he and I have spoken extensively since then. Mainstream media didn't do that. We talked to you about the dangers of pregnant women getting the shots. After all, the vaccine was tested on 44 pregnant rats. I wonder if Tony DeCopel told you that. And when Aaron Seary, one of the lawyers who has been dogged in the lawsuits, the exposure of how much harm those mRNA shots did to us. This is the sort of story that pops out of it. And you need to know. You're not going to find it anywhere else. Nick Holscher is a super smart PhD guy who has worked with Bobby Kennedy, Children's Health Defense. And he blew open the lid on some of these things about illnesses and whatnot in these bio labs here in America. And this is what he puts on his Twitter page yesterday. CDC data shows 112,000% more brain clots after mRNA shots. And then he provides a link to an abstract, an article that shows you that the vaccine adverse event reporting system, an analysis of it, found reports of cerebral thrombosis were 112,000% higher after the COVID shots in just 3 years compared to flu shots given over 34 years. Now, we could sit here and we could spend time and I could bring in experts and they could tell us what that means, but you know what this means. Blood clots, stroke. I put out on my Twitter page yesterday, just ask this question, right? And I said, did the jab hurt you? Would you please tell me about your experience? See, we heard from this new guy, Jim O'Neill, over at HHS. He's the guy who's in charge of CDC. He's the guy who's the new acting director of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, where the COVID shot still exists as something recommended perhaps for certain groups. Why? We heard Jim O'Neill yesterday because he was with this other guy named Alex Adams. These guys are like the number 2 and 3 underneath Bobby Kennedy in certain areas of health and human services, right? And they came out and said, we're going to halt all of this child welfare money, all the child care money from the state of Minnesota until they can prove to us that they're actual children, that these are not just storefronts, and that the Somalians behind all of this aren't just ripping us off blind. And that's wonderful. Mr. O'Neill, I'm proud of you for that. That's terrific. What about the COVID shots? Sir? How many of you know somebody who miscarried a baby, had children before, maybe multiple, but after the shot, miscarried? I know more than a few. How many of you know young people who just strangely got a very aggressive, advanced form of cancer? I do. How many of you know somebody who died suddenly, just didn't make sense, and you're not supposed to talk about it? Why? Now, when you think about the barbaric reality of what COVID was, and how Nick Holscher here is putting out almost matter-of-factly, he reviewed the vaccine adverse event reporting system and found so much more of an incidence after the COVID jab of clots in the brain problem than we did 34 years of the flu vaccine. It's almost like the Minnesota fraud. It's like everybody knows it's going on. Everybody thinks they know how bad it is. Nobody really wants to know how bad. I do. I do. Many of us went through great lengths to try to get educated. We wanted to know what was in the vaccines. Bobby Kennedy wanted that too, and he had to sue Fauci to get that information. Why wouldn't Tony Fauci, who was out there telling you to roll up your sleeve and get it? It's for the greater good. It's the only way we can get back to normal. Please do what's right. Why wouldn't he tell us what was in it? Because they all knew. Those of you out there who were interested in ivermectin or hydroxychloroquine, that Donald Trump was demonized for sharing. He told people to drink bleach. Really? Is that what it is? They demonized that because if you could find an alternative that was going to treat COVID, that was going to protect you, they wouldn't have been able to push the vaccine through emergency use authorization on you. And yet there are people in your life right now, and there are some in mine, who are fully vaxxed 8 shots later. And you look at them and you hear the clock ticking and you pray to God, I sure hope nothing happens to you. But I sure wish you would have listened or have thought critically. America is thinking more critically. If it wasn't a virus and it wasn't a vaccine, if it wasn't the lockdowns, it wasn't the cataclysmic collapse of our children, if it wasn't shutting down the economy and finger-wagging businesses that just tried to survive, is it going to be rampant Somalian fraud? Is that going to be the final straw that breaks America's collective back? When we come back on the Wendy Bell radio program, I love this story because it gives me a lot of hope. Generation Z is ringing in the new year with a very specific focus. Oh my, and this is why I say I'm very excited about what's coming through the ranks. Next on the Wendy Bell Radio Network. My sister developed Ramsay Hunt syndrome, which Justin Bieber had, and horrible equilibrium issues, tinnitus, and breast cancer. Had to have multiple surgeries in her ear for her dizzy spells, and had a double mastectomy. She had 2 jabs. I developed heart problems after I received the COVID vaccine, the Moderna shots, just to keep my job, right? I had to take 2 series of Moderna COVID vaccine shots. And if I didn't, I would have been fired. My son has had 2 of the jabs, and a month after the second jab, he had vertigo-type symptoms. He would recover, and after the first time, the next 2 months in a row, we were in the ER, severely dehydrated. Better now. My nephew had 3 and had a flu shot, and with his last, literally became allergic to everything outdoors. I have a picture of his allergy tests. A month ago or so, he passed out behind the wheel and hit 2 cars, hospitalized himself and another driver. They said it was a seizure. My brother-in-law had to have 2 shots as he was a school bus driver. Second day of school, had just dropped off his kids off the bus and was heading home and totally blacked out behind the wheel, hitting a truck, hauling a trailer, broke his pelvis in 3 places, lived but is now permanently disabled. After the passing of my mother-in-law, my healthy sister-in-law started experiencing an unexplained shortness of breath. They said she had a heart attack, but no surgery to repair for her heart, which I thought was odd. My nephew's best friend died on his couch playing video games within a week of his second jab. He was 31. His older brother then committed suicide less than 2 months later as he was struggling with his brother's death. My neighbor and her husband took as many as they'd offered. Her husband recently had to have a pacemaker. She would probably take more shots. I bet you Tony DeCopel isn't thinking about that.
These people throwing money at you again.
Oh.
Maybe for dance lessons?
Dance lessons. $20, Froggy. Oh my goodness. You are. I love you back. Oh, Grime? COVID vaccine initially for elderly and people with poor immune system is experimental. Right? Shh. Grenade 1313. Great show, Wendy. Grenade 1313, $100.
No, $10.
No, $100.
Oh, wow. And $10.
You guys are very kind. Thanks for being here. Like I said, I won't lie to you. We had to buy our own everything.
Studio.
To do this. We're paying every single month now. We pay every month to put this show up on the satellite. So anybody who can take it can take it. I don't even know who takes it. To be honest with you, I have no idea. That's how important this is to us. Tiedemann, thank you.
What's important too is that you get your jokes in for Bad Joke Friday. WBRBrock@gmail.com.
Yeah, come tomorrow because the last 10 minutes are fun. It's not all like the whole vaccine thing. I'll never forget what they did to us. Watching people pass out on live television. You're just dehydrated. Of teaser beezering all morning long. Generation Z ringing in the new year with what? Clean living. This is wild. Muscles and mocktails. This is the headline at Breitbart.com. Health and wellness gains buzz among young people as more ditch alcohol. I'm telling you what, this youngest generation, I think they are pretty unique. Here's your story. While a majority of Americans still imbibe regularly, recent data show a 90-year low in self-reported alcohol consumption, a trend largely driven by young people. A Gallup survey released in August showed 54% of Americans report drinking alcohol this year, which is notable given that the rate has only been under 60%, fewer than 10 times since the pollster began surveying the issue in 1939. That's wild. Out of all age groups, adults ages 18 to 34 report drinking the least at 50%, compared to 56% of people 35 to 54 and 56% of people 55 and older. Young adults are also more likely to perceive alcohol as being bad for one's health. In 2001, about 30% of young adults and middle-aged adults saw moderate drinking as harmful, while 21% of older adults agreed. By 2007, 18 to 34-year-olds had pulled ahead of both other age groups in their concern, including a recent surge to about 2/3, saying that moderate drinking is harmful. Middle-aged and older adults' belief that drinking is bad for health has picked up over the past few readings, but still lags young adults. The data show a striking political difference as well. Republicans who report drinking alcohol has decreased a whopping 19%, 19 points, I should say, since 2023. Republicans who report drinking alcohol gone down 19 points, from 65% to 46%. Independents and Democrats have also reported drinking less in that same time frame, but not to the same extent or degree. Trading beers for barbells. Apparently, the drop in alcohol consumption comes after the booze-fueled pandemic years, where Americans subjected to government-mandated isolation braved the toilet paper ration lines at Costco. And now young people want to exercise. They're getting in shape, getting fit, getting strong. I love it. What's our excuse, right? Now, before we leave on this New Year's Day, I want to play this for you. This woman's account on X is called Just Jen RX, and she says, did you hear that the Democratic Party, the DNC, is actually paying to bribe social media influencers to do whatever they can to say bad things about Donald Trump and Republicans? Wait, what? Listen.
Let me get this straight. The DNC is reaching out to content creators, offering them sums of $20,000 plus in a contract for a year, along with subject matter and talking points to talk bad about Donald Trump. Is it just me, or does anybody else find it insane that the Democratic Party wants to bribe people with money to slander our president? So I guess paying people and slandering the president and shit-talking is the way that the Democrats plan on getting ahead. You know, they really should have thought that through rather than ignoring the needs of Americans. They put their own selfish priorities above American people. Democrats still don't have a plan, and they don't have anybody to represent them. They have no true leader. AOC, Jasmine Crockett, they can continue to keep talking because all they're doing is talking themselves into a deeper and deeper hole. Chuck Schumer, he's done lost it a long time ago. Elizabeth Warren, she's in hiding. I mean, come on. So Democrats need immigrants to boost their votes. Democrats need to pay people to be at their rallies and bust them in for photo ops. And people need to pay content creators to talk crap about Republicans and the president to boost morale within their party.
So let's think about this. Nick Shirley goes to Minneapolis with a phone. He tells the truth, captures what he's experienced, so you decide how you feel about it. And the left goes crazy, gunning for him and his family, doxing him, trying to find any salacious anything to smear him for telling the truth. Meanwhile, Democrats who spend money like it's not theirs because it's yours, blow through $1.4 billion in 107 days with Kamala Harris. They don't have ideas. They don't care about America. There is no strategy. There is no plan. There's just this window dressing layer of meringue suck that if you look at it, maybe you think there's something there, but then you realize it's all smoke and mirrors. And then they have to take out a loan, a $10 million loan, so they can go bribe social media influencers, giving them the talking points to go rip on President Trump and Republicans. It's like it's so obvious. Oh my gosh, that's right, because it is. Happy New Year, America. Come back. We'll be back tomorrow. Peace.